Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, for episode 335 of the Massenomics podcast.
That sounds right.
All right, episode 335 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about Nearfin. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
We got a lot of Nearfin to talk about today, Tommy. We got a list full of Nearfin.
We do. It's a very full list.
It is, and I'm excited for it. We got a special guest this week, like most weeks. Going to have Silent Mike on tap for us. We've got sack segments, talking gym equipment stuff, talking veggie omelets.
Lift shorts news.
Lift shorts news.
Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking lift shorts news.
We got a sack. We got a can.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
we better get going.
Yep. New discount codes.
New discount code. Speaking of that, have you heard about code Massenomics from
Tell
our
me.
friends at Bearfoot Shoes? Last week people heard about this Barefoot ad, and the angry mob got their pitchforks out and said, "Give us a code. We want a code." And the people at Barefoot delivered.
Oh, before you do that.
Oh, Tanner's reaching for a cord here.
Where is the end of this?
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Is it right here?
Oh boy.
Oh, that's the wrong way.
Oh boy. The timing's all off. Should we just start this whole thing
okay.
over?
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Now, what ad did you say is coming up here?
Barefoot.
Okay.
The comedic timing was just spot on there. There was no delay in anything. It was like you were planning that out for weeks. Today's episode is brought to you by Bearfoot Shoes. Most shoes harm your mobility by over-restricting your foot's natural movement. Barefoot shoes are designed with minimal restrictions so your feet can move the way they're supposed to. Move with more strength and confidence in every step. Barefoot Shoes was founded by Chris Duffin, who attributes proper foot biomechanics as foundational to his success in squatting and deadlifting over 1,000 pounds for reps. He helped create the company to provide a minimalist shoe that can be worn for anything from deadlifts to walking your dog. Go to barefoot.shoes to check out the best minimalist shoes available. And while you're there, make sure to use code Massenomics to save 10%, a whopping 10% on your order. So if you were on the fence before, if you were riding the line before, you're over the line. We got you.
We got you this time.
Tanner and I both wear Barefoot shoes. We love them. Oh, that's an angry bear. Tanner and I both wear Barefoot shoes. We love them. You should do the same.
Just wearing mine today. Did some deadlifting in them. Loved them.
I didn't have mine on today, but.
And the best thing about it is saving 10% with discount code Massenomics.
Can't be beat. You know what they say, put pencil to paper.
And the other best thing about it is doing timely bear growls.
I'm kind of pumped up now.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. I was thinking about telling you about something else.
Please do.
I was going to tell you about Juggernaut AI. As long as we were talking about training today, we were both in there doing some training today. We're both using Juggernaut AI for our training. And first of all, what I want to tell you, we have a discount code with Juggernaut AI also. It's also Massenomics. But important.
Very important.
Important distinction.
If anything
here,
you take from this whole episode, listen.
It's this. When you sign up for Juggernaut AI, you go to juggernautai.app. Juggernaut
That's
AI.
a website.
App.
We're not saying go to the app store.
Go
to the
website. Type in juggernautai.app. Go to the website. Sign up on the website and use our discount code Massenomics there. That'll save you 10% for the lifetime of your membership. But you do have to do it through
because the website will prompt you for a discount code.
Yes.
The app in the app store will not.
Yes.
This just came to light this week that multiple people signed up because of like completely unrelated came to us and said, yeah, I never got to enter my discount code, but I'm also on like week 8 of Juggernaut. No, you did it wrong. You got to go to the website.
Massenomics Gym
Yes.
not going about it the right way. So trying to make sure people understand, go to juggernautai.app and get signed up that way. Use discount code Massenomics. And then you can enjoy everything that there is to enjoy with the Juggernaut AI app.
Which is mostly just PRs after PRs.
They never end as far as I've seen. They did just have an update recently.
They
I don't know
did.
if you noticed that.
I
They
did.
now have on the bottom toggle, there's tools. I noticed that was probably the primary thing.
They actually changed the icon color slightly too. Did you
I
notice
noticed that. Yeah, I did notice that. In the tools, what they added that I noticed was an RPE planner, an RPE chart, plate math. I know some people have like separate apps for plate math and that sort of thing. So this gets it all within the umbrella of the one app. 1 rep max calculator, pound to kilogram conversion. And then things that they're working on are a warm-up planner. Plan your warm-up and workout, plate math in either kilogram or pound, and then strength levels. You can calculate your Juggernaut strength class based for squat, bench, and deadlift. So my key takeaway from
I just
that,
did a little 1 rep max calculation while you're talking there.
and did you like
I
what
like
you
what
found?
it's saying.
Okay.
I like what it's saying.
Okay. So Tommy's using the tools as we speak. But what I like about it, so yeah, these tools are nice, and it might be some things I use sometimes, but just how they're kind of constantly working on things behind the scenes and bringing more to this app. It's not just they put
not
this
a
out
dead
there,
app.
right? It's not dead there.
It's living and breathing.
Continuing to work on things, and we've both been using it for many months now, and both having success with it. So, like I said, go to your web browser, type in juggernautai.app, and then sign up that way.
Week 21 for me to be exact.
All right. We need that damn credit.
Yeah. Don't cheap us out of this.
Yes.
Credit where credit's due. All right. Should we get right to it?
Yeah, let's do it.
God, there's just so many things on the list this week that
I don't know where we even start on
It is
this
hard
list.
to know. Maybe we'll start. Do we have supporting or supporting members?
We do have that.
Okay, then we're going to save some Discord news for later.
Okay.
How about the veggie omelet from last week, Tanner?
Yeah. Well, we didn't have the veggie omelet.
Sorry,
last
yes.
week. We had MREs last
We had
week.
MREs.
Your first MRE.
It was my first MRE. Tanner's had countless MREs in his life. It was a real learning experience for me. But you sent me a video of a guy actually eating the veggie MRE.
Someone popped it up on Discord. I can't remember who shared it. One of the big Discord crew members that threw that up there. And I watched the entire video.
I watched the entire thing too. And I kind of want to give the guy credit because
it was good. Like, it was good.
Listening to his review of how he reviews food makes me really think like we're not bringing our A game when it comes to reviewing LaCroix and bubbly waters on
That's
this.
true.
Because
He takes it to another level.
he's really finds the nuance in everything.
He does.
And even the way, Steve 1989 MRE info is his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Did you see how many YouTube?
How many subscribers does he have?
That's views. Let's see. He has, 2 million subscribers.
I'm not surprised. It was a good video.
No, he manages to make it very entertaining for a camera that's basically pointed at his hands,
Yes.
opening up an MRE. He also, so this guy he has the veggie omelet MRE, which I believe he said was produced from 2005 to 2008.
Yeah,
So
which
Tanner,
is just
you do have
the
this
perfect wrong timing for me. Like,
do.
I lived in this. I experienced the era of the
have
vomlet.
you have that to your name. You can say I lived the veggie MRE, that brief window in time.
And I like the name of it, the vomlet.
Had you ever heard that?
I'd never heard the vomlet before. I'm sure it's commonplace now, and it's funny how he talks about the vomlet does have like this
The
cult,
reputation as like the worst.
Right,
That was, it's like a 20-minute video. He opens the whole bag up. He's really good with the packaging where maybe everyone that eats these a lot gets good at that, but putting it in the heater, he gets them all wedged in there all nice and folded up tight and sets that to the side while he does the sides.
Yep.
And I believe the sides in there were like dehydrated granola and blueberries, which looked absolutely disgusting.
And I never had that. Like, he said that they switched to that menu item in the last year, and I never remember. And I subsequently, like, once I had the choice, never took the veggie omelet again, of course. So I never had that as a side.
Yeah, that one looked.
But he said it tasted.
Yeah, he said
really
it was good. It was good. I thought it looked gross. I'm not huge into like granola and blueberries though. That's not really my jam. But so he thought that part was good. Then I believe there was apple cider, which he said was awful. Oh no, I think the apple cider was okay. It was the vanilla cappuccino.
That was
why do you need two of those things in there?
Yeah.
He did say that like 6 of the gum are what's supposed to be laxative.
That's what he said.
I took have laxative properties with 6 of them. So
but I'm like,
we
I
both
don't know
did
if
one.
you have like, what's the case on any gum? Like, how much gum do you have to chew? You know,
before it does something.
right.
Yeah. And then what else? There was a scone, which he said, actually, he made it sound like that was maybe
scone-
the worst thing.
When he was talking,
Do you remember that?
I don't remember thinking the scone was as bad as what he was talking about. But when he got into describing the scone and how bad it was, I was laughing out loud. Like I was like rolling laughing, and like it's all a little relatable to me. So it's like it's just funny anyways. But when he really started describing the scone and how bad it was, just because he has this very
and that's what I was laughing more in the buildup of it all, because he's so like he's not laughing really at all. He's being completely honest and genuine, and it's sort of deadpan too, but he's just like, wow, this is just a very intense flavor.
Yes.
Oh, just completely overdone on the vanilla. Like the way he's reviewing it, like you would never expect that from an MRE. So that was what made me laugh the most. But when he did get to the veggie omelet, it looks like absolutely disgusting coming out of the tube. Like that doesn't look edible coming out of the tube. It looks awful. And the fact that you have to think of someone eating it.
No, when I watched that, I was like, that's why I told you in the Discord, I'm like, you have to watch this because you really get a feel for the veggie omelet.
And you can tell he's just fighting to eat it. I thought it was really funny in the comments. Someone wrote like, Steve's stomach deserves a Purple Heart for everything he went through here. That was good. But
I like he puts the salsa verde on it.
He covers it in salt and the salsa verde, which looked awful too. It looked like just green old puke that he dumps on it. And then at that point he says it's totally edible.
Yeah. Well, for a while, and then he kind of, after like a couple bites of it again, he's like, okay, that's...
It was also funny, he had a shirt on that said the Clean Plate Club.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
I see that's probably like kind of his thing, like he always finishes it no matter what.
And then also the fact that this is an MRE from like 2007 or 2008 was the date on his.
Right,
so it is, 14 years old? He's eating this thing?
Yeah.
So that was a good video. People should seek that out if they want more MRE.
Yes.
More MRE goodness that we couldn't quite deliver.
Oh, I love that video though. Really good. Couldn't recommend it enough.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
I think that was a really good topic to lead off with on here, actually.
I think so too.
What else did we have in there too?
So next on the list, are you ready for, do you want a can or should we talk lift shorts?
Maybe we should have a can.
Okay. This is a special Discord crew submitted can. So I'm going to need you to put the blinders on.
Right. All that talk about the vomelet really has me hungry.
Really piqued your appetite.
The vomelet is such a perfect name for that too.
Yeah, it works great. I haven't even opened this thing yet. I got it in the mail. I put it in the fridge. And I wanted to save it for this special moment. It is packed with care, I can tell you that. Oh, we got a letter, which I always like to see. Okay, I'm going to try not to really look at this. So because I kind of like to play the game too, you know.
Yeah, it's all about the game and how you play it.
Yep, I got to see the color of the can, but I didn't read it. So I'm coming into this.
Do I need a koozie at all? I've got this camouflage.
I brought camo in for you already. Okay. All right, reach your hand out there.
Oh, there we are.
Here we go.
Oh, that's a moderately crispy.
All right. Fairly strong flavor or smell.
Whoa. I'm getting strong pamplemousse nodes on the scent here.
Yeah. It's almost...
Ooh, that's very grapefruity.
Very grapefruity. And I almost, for a second, feel like it's in that diet soda line because it's so strong.
It's very sweet compared to a sparkling water.
Yeah, that makes me think it has to be grapefruit something, right?
Is it grapefruit anything else?
I kind of think it's just grapefruit.
Mm-hmm. Let me take one. It's just pretty sweet. I'm just wondering if you pair grapefruit with anything. If is there a sweeter thing?
I don't know. It sort of has that bitterness still at the end, like a grapefruit.
Yeah.
Though.
I guess it's like the sweetness of the actual beverage that's getting me. You know, like just how it is sweet,
an artificial sweetener. Yeah.
Strong scent, strong taste. Overall tastes pretty good. I think it's grapefruit though.
It really has the grapefruit smell too, though. Most beverages don't have that.
Right. Do you? Should we check it out?
Let's take a look here. So it says the finish, long drink, 0 sugar, 99 calories, citrus. Oh, there's alcohol in here.
Ooh.
Gin with natural grapefruit and juniper berry flavors.
Oh.
All right. So there was a little more going on. Wow. I guess now maybe I can see the alcohol part, but that was not apparent from the beginning.
Juniper berry, that's the sweetness.
Well, that's what they use to make gin, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I believe it is.
Okay.
So, yeah, but gin kind of has that dry. Well, grapefruit kind of has that dryness to it, and
True.
gin does too.
True.
So they really play off each other there. Interesting. Boy, so alcohol I kind of feel like gets graded on a different scale too. Because I couldn't drink like 10 of these in a night.
No.
I think I'd be hurting if I did that.
I mean, I could drink 2 of those in a night.
Yeah. I think if you wanted one of these, I would for sure give it a 3.5 if you want something in this flavor profile.
What'd you go, 3.5?
I would for sure give it a 3.5 for like if you're just gonna have it like in a one-off scenario like this.
Right.
I'm not gonna like drink a case of these though. That's not in the cards.
It's tricky because the alcohol thing puts it in a little bit different scale.
It does.
I mean, I'm down with a 3.5, and under those conditions, under those with that thought process.
All right, and are you ready for part 2 of this, Tanner?
Yeah.
We got this.
Do we know who this is from?
Oh, is that? I sorry.
Yeah.
Big Dodzilla, Scott Dodds.
Oh,
hooked it up.
Big Scott, the first supporting member.
The original, the one. He also sent us some
Neo.
of these too. Some little Scott Dodds
Dodzilla
powerlifting
trading cards.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have one of him deadlifting here, and
mine's autographed.
I just grabbed 2 random ones. This one has a state deadlift record, USPA. So I technically got an autograph one, and you did too.
Yeah. I've got USPA Masters 220 division, 617-pound deadlift. He's wearing the Massenomics singlet in this one and wearing the lift hat and lift shorts 2.0 in this one.
Yep. It's a well-dressed man. That's
I
pretty
like
sweet.
These. Might have to put these up in Massenomics gym.
I think they'll look great in the gym.
Yeah.
And then people will say, "What's that?"
Yeah. Just the 400th thing that people can be like, "What is that?"
Why is there so many inside jokes in this room?
Oh, well done. Big.
There's a letter in here
All
too.
right.
I'm glad I took a second look there.
Is it an
I
on-air
gotta
letter or sometimes? It's good. It's best now when people specify right away, like, yes, this is an on-air letter.
Yeah,
or not.
this one can be read.
Okay.
It says, "Dear Massenomics, I've been searching for something worthy of the What's in a Can segment for a long time. I believe I have finally found it. This is long drink. Not going to mention the flavor or what's in it. We already covered that. But I think this 0-calorie beverage is going to earn no less than a 4.5, possibly 5 stars.
Oh, Scott, there's never been a 5.
Yeah. Has there even been a 4.5?
I don't think
maybe 1 or 2.
Who keeps the? Is it Big David or
does Kevin keep the shirt log? I forget who.
Kevin keeps the shirts. I don't remember who. Oh yeah, Big Dave. It's one of the Big Davids. Yep.
And I do like Scott.
He might be able to tell us if there's ever been a 4.5.
Scott did sign has it signed off on. Scott Dodzilla Dodds, aka first supporting member. He ain't lying there. No. I do like his seal here, the Dodzilla deadlift dungeon.
I do like that. I think he was right though. Like he was good to wait for the. Like this is very worthy of what's in the can.
That is. This is a great what's in the can segment.
This is pretty good. I could drink a couple of these and kick off the night.
I could too. I mean, I didn't even realize there was alcohol in it. It is kind of weird that there's 0 calories too. But I suppose.
Kannapolis, North Carolina. Kannapolis with a K.
That's weird.
And Big David did get back to us there. President's Choice Vanilla Cherry. We did give it a 4.5. Also, Ugly Cherry.
Oh, I missed that one. Okay,
and Bubbly Lime, all 4.5s.
Ugly Cherry Coke. God, rest in peace. I forgot about that one.
Oh, I had my last one.
Did you really?
I had my last one this last week.
I still have some birthday cakes sitting upstairs.
Not as good. So I had the Dr. Ugly and the Ugly Cherry Coke, and
Dr. Ugly.
I've been really rationing them, and they are. Every time I have one, I'm like, yeah, this is my favorite sparkling water, and now they're gone.
It's funny. We did give bubbly lime a 4.5. That's probably my most bought flavor. So I wasn't just making that number up at the time.
Well done, Big Dodzilla. That was
Yeah.
a great segment. I
Great
love these
stuff.
cards. My biggest thing is deciding where in the gym. Like, I love the nuggets of.
Well,
There's so many nuggets in
Yes.
the gym of like little things.
People's old YMCA
yes,
cards.
yes.
Someone, we have someone's card from jail.
There's one rookie card that's been blown up on a banner, like one random one.
Yeah, lots of good stuff.
These will have a good home there.
All right, should we talk about equipment or lift shorts?
Oh, I think we got to talk about the lift shorts,
Okay.
don't we? Just because it's pretty funny.
It's very, very noteworthy here.
And we'll post about this on Instagram tomorrow. So, like,
So
by the time
you heard
if
it
you're
first on the Discord.
Yeah, if you're listening live, you're hearing it first. If not, you've already seen this. We post about this. So what happened is I got home from work today, and my wife and my kids were all at home, and my mother-in-law was there too. And I've heard this name Poshmark before. I'm sure my wife's talked about it or my mother-in-law has talked about it before. And I was like, kind of just like peripherally aware of like that Poshmark is a thing that maybe is like clothing related. Somebody's maybe told me about it before. And she goes, I found lift shorts on Poshmark. And I was like, no, what? There's some confusion here. I think
it's not how that works.
Yeah,
Trust me, things don't work this way.
And I'm like, or what do you mean here? Like you found some other shorts that say lift on them that are not, And she's like, no, I found some of your lift shorts on Poshmark. And I'm like, show me what are we talking about here? So she pulls it up, and my wife also pull it up, and they there is a pair. Actually, if you're listening right now,
yeah, someone could get on this right now.
there is something relevant here that
Yes.
someone listening live might want to get this, because one of the pairs is a limited edition pair of blue lift shorts.
Only 100 pairs are made.
Only 100 ever made. There is a pair of blue mediums on Poshmark and they are like brand new. Even his description, barely worn, limited edition Massenomics blue lift shorts. And originally he had them marked at 50. Right now they're marked down to 30. So if you're
marked at 50,
if you're a medium, this is your chance at the blue lift shorts. This was our first ever pair of limited edition shorts, were the blue lift shorts.
the blue ones.
And so, and there's also a pair of just the black medium
Lift shorts.
lift
I
shorts.
believe they also say like new, like only worn once or something like that.
I'll tell you, they're also size medium, Massenomics lift short, size medium, barely worn. So,
And
And
what do
this
they
is
charge
real.
what are they charging for the regular ones?
35 marked down to 18.
Wow.
So that's just like a good deal.
So 18 for the regulars. For
Yeah.
the plain ones, you could say in this scenario.
Yes, 30
And then-
for the
and
limited
30
edition.
for the limited. They're really playing in that limited edition game. Aren't
We're seeing in the
Oh.
Discord that our blues are gone. Somebody bought them. They were not sold as of like a couple
they?
hours ago.
Someone just blues are gone. Someone here did it.
Big David said 40.75 with shipping. Can anyone confirm they were the ones that got them? Just very curious.
And this person was like, "Damn, those things really sold." But we kind of threw him a bone here.
So do all these people have Poshmark? Because like it looked like an app that my wife showed me, but like you also could just go to the website, I assume.
Worthless without the certificate of authenticity. Yeah, this person could be running an elaborate scam where they're making fake.
That's true. There is
There's no certificate of authenticity, so you don't know
Right.
for sure.
right. Pretty interesting though. So now I guess we have to keep our eye on Poshmark for
Big David did buy them. He said.
rescued them. Has anyone bought the regular? The regular pair. That's just a good deal if you wear mediums, because
They are definitely going to a good home with Big David
Yeah.
buying them. There's no doubt about that. But I believe he said the $30 ones were $40 with shipping, so $10. So you're still getting a deal on the regulars. Technically, you're going to get them for $28.
Right. I mean, they're used, but they do look pretty moderately used. I want to know the regular black lift shorts. Not all that surprising. We sold a lot of pairs of those over the years. I mean, a lot. Those could come up for sale. limited edition blue ones, we only sold 100 ever, and they sold they were in high demand, very high demand. They all came.
That was
with
one of our
certificate
quickest selling products ever.
Who was so into Massenomics at that point in time that they rushed to buy a pair of those, and over the course of the last couple of years has soured so much on us that they're like, I don't even want these in my closet anymore.
You got a great point there, because it wasn't like they randomly came to the site and
if the
saw
black
and then
lift
thought
shorts,
about it.
that could have
and-
happened.
Yeah, it wasn't like a decision they slept on, because the blue ones were gone within hours. Like it was
Right.
It would be such an insane coincidence if you randomly got to the site and were like, "Oh yeah, I'll get these," and they were in your size during that like specific little window.
Right. Could be a sizing issue potentially. You know, maybe they're like, oh, it turns out I was a medium or I was a small and I ordered these mediums.
Potentially, yeah. Wow.
Was interesting though, I thought.
Well, we did get him a safe home. You know, and the old story, the old version of this story was back in the day you found a lift shirt, or someone found a lift shirt at the thrift store in town,
It was the
right?
Aberdeen Goodwill.
Goodwill, okay.
Someone sent me a picture like, hey, found this here, and it was, you know, them pulling the lift shirt out of the rack, and it was like for like $5 or something, and I was like, no, that is a travesty. So I went there like within a few, like later that day. I think it was a weekend day. This has been years ago, and I went and it was gone. I'm like, oh, somebody bought it. I'll never know. Also, there I was offended. I'm like, who gave their lift shirt to Goodwill?
Locally bought one,
right? And then I
dumped
was thinking, well, we sold things at the Brown County Fair. A few years, I'm like, someone randomly probably bought it.
Yeah, and he wore it once and said, I don't need this. Why do I have this shirt?
Right. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
But that's the original version of that story.
Well, it's nice to know that those shorts found a home so quickly. I didn't think we'd have closure like that today.
Yep.
I guess we'll have to get follow-up from Big David to see if he thinks they passed the authenticity test.
That'd be funny if they did come with a certificate of authenticity too.
If it was like, and even your note was in there, they just dumped it all. That would be amazing. It's the Discord anniversary, Tanner.
Only comes around once a year.
We did. This
is the 1 year anniversary.
It's so special. We didn't even really know about it until
someone else pointed. I think Dutch Matt pointed it out.
Yeah, brought it to our attention.
Yeah,
a year. That's kind of hard to believe, because
I would have guessed it's been way over a year already that we've.
I kind of was thinking like last summer, maybe even spring.
Yep.
So yeah, over a year for sure. It's really hard to imagine Massenomics without the Discord now, isn't it?
Yes.
There's not many things that you could say fundamentally changed how we do some things and think about things and interact with people, but
it'd be kind of like imagining Massenomics without a podcast or like without Instagram.
Or without Instagram. Like it's such a channel for talking with the community and talking with people.
Things filter through the things surface and ideas, and it's just such a part of the community. It is really weird that it's only been a year in that way.
Yeah.
Because just 1 year ago from today, we thought we were riding high and Massenomics is growing and things are going good, and like this wasn't even a thing yet.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Reading the comments, but
we had already had supporting memberships,
but they weren't really doing a whole lot.
No,
which I don't blame anyone. Like it was, I mean, you get a discount code, but
right.
Outside of that, there wasn't any major incentives. But the Discord flipped that thing on its head.
It really did change things, didn't it? It is crazy to me though, really wild that it's only been a year. That doesn't seem right.
Time flies,
as they say, right?
That's right.
What about? A lot of times we do the sack segment at the end, but I'll save half sack segment for end, half for right now.
Oh, we're going to split it up.
Yeah, because there's something.
It's a two-part.
Yeah, a two-part sack, and part of this is particularly relevant to do in the first half of the show, I think.
Okay.
So, we've got a little something
One
here.
of the longest-running segments on the podcast. Oh, sweet.
Goodie Bear. This is, we've both got stocking hats here, and actually you can have whichever color you want.
Damn.
There's a maroon and a black. And it's got, I think, 3rd Street Barbell.
Yeah.
Good Company Bear.
3rd Street Barbell beanies here.
And these are courtesy of our good friends, longtime friends, Jim McD and Silent Mike over from Sacramento. We also already put the football. We have a Good Company football now. The gym football, so it just lives in the gym, so we can fire the pigskin back and forth between sets.
Yes.
And then we also have a 3rd Street barbell Good Company pennant on the wall. Now.
Yeah, we're decked out.
Yep.
It's like a 3rd
this.
Street barbell satellite office. What do we got? Oh, a little towel.
Yeah.
Damn, let me
Good
see that
Company.
thing. I like that.
Yep.
I like these beanies too. These are well done. I like these.
Yep.
Very nice.
So thank you to our good friends, Silent Mike and Jim McD. And I thought it particularly relevant because we're going to be talking to old Silent Mike here in just a matter of minutes.
It's a dark towel. I'm not sure if it shows up on the camera, but we got it held up. Beanies, maybe I'll hold that up too. So yeah, people can't see. It's too small. Nice fold over beanie with their little bear embroidered on it. Great stuff.
Yep. Sweet. So we'll save the other little bit in here for
The
post.
other nugget.
The last little portion
All
of
right.
the show.
Well, if you
there.
get really sweaty during the interview, Tanner, we do got the towel now.
All right, to dab.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
So that takes up care of that part of the sack segment. Do we want to talk about some of the new equipment that we've got?
They're doing some wheeling and dealing on the.
Are they trying to buy the?
Trying to lowball them for $15 on
Oh, that's a steal for gently used lift shorts. $15. I don't know if you can get the plain ones for $15.
That's pushing it. Sorry, what were you saying? I got distracted over
Now
here.
someone's trying to buy the.
Yeah. There's
The
been a
blue ones.
there's been a lot of talk of wheeling and dealing on
Yeah.
the Discord the last few days.
Speaking of wheeling and dealing, I got
Oh yeah.
had a pretty sweet
This was a
Facebook
hot deal.
Marketplace score. It was a barely used red Cerakote Texas Power Bar and a barely used black Cerakote Texas Squat Bar. $250 each, $500 total in South Dakota, which like that type of shit
and
never
not
comes
far
up.
away in South
No.
Dakota either.
And Big Jake the Snake had found that deal, and he let me know about it. And he's got a home gym, and he wasn't sure if he wanted either of them. And I'm like, well, we can't wait on this. I'm going to buy these immediately.
Yeah, we will for sure take them all.
Like I'm like, if you don't want whatever you want, go ahead and have it. I'm going to tell her I'm buying them, and then we'll sort that out because these need to be bought. And he's got them in hand now, and they are like literally never barely used at all whatsoever. So it was a steal. He's keeping the power bar, and we're going to bring the squat bar to Massenomics Gym. So now we've got a second Texas squat bar. For
So
the
we'll
gym.
have a black Cerakote and a black
regular,
zinc. Is
yeah,
that
whatever their regular
normal
black
finishes?
finishes called. But the brand new Texas squat bar for $250 is just a steal.
That is, can't beat that.
That is a sweet steal.
Yeah.
And he was excited about the power bar too because it was literally brand new too, and that shipped. The Texas power bars and Texas squat bars are all reasonably priced, especially in comparison to other comparable top high end quality barbells. But that squat bar shipped is a little over $500, and the power bar shipped is like close to $400. It's like $380 in the Cerakote finish. So a couple of sweet deals, and it was COVID deals. People that had bought.
Did they say that? That
That it was. They
home
had started
gym?
a home gym, and I remember at the time we even talked about it. I was
It's like, yep, there's gonna be a lot of people bailing on this stuff at some point.
Yep, I was excited for when that started to come around, but the other direction, and it, here's a little taste of it having come, getting a brand new Texas squat bar for half price.
Mm-hmm. So how many how many Texas power bars in general do we have now?
Well,
We got the 2 squat bars.
We've got 2 squat, 1 deadlift, and
Is it 3?
3 power bars. Could have had a 4th one here potentially, but
Yep. So we have
It's going to
7
get
Texas
home.
power bars.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good number
not bad.
for a modest.
Those are
little
rookie
gym.
numbers. We got to pump those up. Yeah. And then the other thing we recently got was the Rogue Z reverse hyper.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used that like 4 or 5 times. I've got it kind of in my
it's
programming all the time.
Slightly
now.
more than 10 times as much as a drink spotter. So we wanted to see if it was 10 times as functional.
Yes. It's still no drink spotter,
No,
but it is a nice piece of equipment, and it was a pretty good upgrade.
it
over
really
our,
is. That thing is, it is built like a tank. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about that. It is also incredibly large.
It is.
Like, is it surprising how wide it is?
Also, that thing is not challenging to put together, time consuming to put together. The Rogue Reverse Hyper Z Hyper comes in a lot of pieces, a lot of freaking pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, it took 2 to 3 hours to assemble that.
See, I didn't have the pleasure of putting it together,
Yeah.
but I did see the number of boxes.
Yeah.
Which I kind of assumed maybe there was more that you got than the reverse hyper for the number of boxes that were there.
They could for sure put a little bit of that shit together before. Like, I get the idea of you disassemble stuff as much as possible for shipping. It makes it more efficient, cost-wise and everything. But there's some things that I'm like, no, you could have put these couple parts to get, they could have started assembled together. But is really great. And now that it's put together, I like it. But by the time I finished putting it together that night, I was like, I don't even want to look at this right now. Because I wasn't going into it planning on a 2.5 hour.
Well, and why would you? It's like,
right.
oh, I'm like putting together a table with
Right.
a little arm that comes
right.
out.
But it is heavy duty.
It is.
Built to
I still,
tits.
the thing that did surprise me the most, though, is the width of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem incredibly wide?
I don't know. I guess it didn't really seem like it to me, but maybe it's just in comparison to our homemade
Maybe,
one,
and
too.
maybe the proportions of the
Yeah,
old one were a little more
right.
square on the tabletop, where this one is
Yeah.
definitely more rectangular.
Right.
So maybe that's what threw me off.
Yeah. And like our old one was so much taller.
It was very tall.
So that its exaggeration from width at the bottom to width at the top was significant. Like there was a big difference in the footprint on top
the
versus
geometry
the footprint
was the geometry was all off on that thing.
Yeah. And just today ordered a Stray Dog Strength Alpha series adjustable bench.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
I'll be excited for that. Is that going to live in the back room? Is that kind of the
I don't
plan?
know. My intention was eventually that we'd probably have a few of them. So then just start to slowly phase out those ones we have. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one to really regulate where it goes because people are going to move that
especially when it's a new bench. People are going to take that wherever they want. Yeah, I never even thought about that.
Well, yeah, that's what's going to happen. People are going to take that one everywhere. So
that's actually going to get some miles put on it
Yes.
between the two rooms.
Yes.
I did see this. Big David wrote regarding his blue lift shorts. He said, "Please include the certificate of authenticity and original handwritten note." And the person said, "I'm at school. My parents are shipping it out. I'll try my best to get them to find it." Big
That's
Keith
funny.
said, "What's Alpha Bench?" I'm not sure if he's serious there or not, or if he knows of the straight.
Stray Dog Strength, and we had them on the podcast here. How long? Few months ago.
Yeah, probably about 2 months ago.
Yeah, and I guess it's just it's their version. Whatever the Rogue and Rep both make an adjustable bench that a lot of people have, and I think it's their take on that. It's got the way the big difference is. It's the ladder system, but
the ladder's on the top of the bench.
Right. It's on the opposite
back
of
the bench pad.
right. It's the opposite of how you picture the
versus the base of the bench.
Right.
It looks like a cool piece of equipment, though.
It is cool. Kurt Locker has one. There's a few other people that I follow and stuff that I've seen it with, and it's pretty sweet.
So
a lot of customization
you said you
options.
did actually buy it, though?
Yes, it's bought.
Did you get it in red?
Red and with black accents and a
you
black
can pick the
pad.
accent
Yeah, and you
too.
can even pick the pad color and
Really?
stuff. But it'd be fun to get wild on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But our gym is really starting to
Get a little bit
it
of
never
vibe
had
going on.
it never had one originally because it was so mix and match. It was just whatever we could get.
Oh, it was very mix and match.
And now it's
Actually,
kind of
the vibe was more like missing paint was kind of the vibe. It was
right.
Yeah, it's a lot of black and red now, though. There's actually almost no colors in the back area that aren't.
No, the back
red.
area is pretty much set.
Yeah,
It's that front area now that's still pretty
little
mix and match.
matchy. Yeah.
But there's so many different.
But it would
pieces.
actually wouldn't take. You get the benches. If you get the benches on the same page, that kind of takes care of a good chunk of that area because then you got some machines, and the machines are either black or silver. Well, you got the two.
There's some white and blue.
Yeah, the white and blue
ones.
one. That's what I was just thinking of. Those are like the oldest machines in the whole thing, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
And the lat pull down has a green pad.
Right. It's black with a green pad. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's good equipment talk. We haven't talked much equipment for a while. So I'm excited. I have an equipment, addiction, I suppose.
I'm excited for the incline bench. That's a piece of equipment that I never used.
You've been programming incline bench.
For years and years. And now I incline bench at least once every week, and I love it. And a new bench would be great.
Yep. Someone was talking about the shirt that I'm wearing right now. For anyone that doesn't know, this is the OG logo is what we refer to this as. This is the OG. We haven't had the OG available.
We actually were discussing a potential idea there.
Yep. So we do have some things coming at that. We have talked quite a bit about our Discord today, but I think it's still relevant and important to hit up supporting our supporting members. It's a relatively newer segment to the podcast in comparison to segments like Tanner Sack. Much newer compared to like Tanner Sack, because that was a segment back in like recording studio like 1.0.
But it's also one of the fastest growing segments of the podcast.
It is. That's true. It's become a big fan favorite, I think. And so we have these supporting members. They get access to our Discord. They also get access to a discount code exclusive for them. We send out things like membership cards for them, and it's you just get to be a part of the crew is really what happens. And we like to give back to them a little bit each week. So we get feedback from them of what they've got going on in their lives. It could be competing, could just be family stuff, anything exciting or noteworthy. We search it out, and we like to shout them out here on the segment. So there was a Strongman competition at a brewery. This was in the Northeast this last weekend. And I think from what I could figure out, we had 3 crew members competing there. There was Big Johnny, POV_strong is what he goes by on IG. Big Johnny in the Discord, I think. Big Conrad was there competing, and Big Chris. And Big Chris, everyone likes to joke about how we say his last name wrong. Because I still really don't know how you say his last name. How do you think you say Chris's last name?
I don't know, because
it's not that hard of one.
Well, I know that I would have said it a certain way,
right.
And then you kept saying it one way, and then your way was wrong, but then I've heard you say it some other ways, and I'm so mixed around now that I don't even know what I would say.
What would you say, right now?
I would say Damminger, I think.
Damminger.
I think I would say Damminger.
Not Dominger.
I don't know.
What about Dominger?
I don't know.
But anyways, Big Chris.
It's one of those things I'm thinking about it too much now that I have such a hard time saying.
Yeah. So Big Johnny and Big Conrad went head to head in the middleweight class. Johnny edged out Conrad by 1 point to take first place in that class. So crew on crew. That's a blue on blue.
Yeah.
That's crew on crew, blue on blue. Interesting there that across the country there's 2 crew members competing
Equally
each other.
matched,
Yeah.
yes.
And then Big Chris was in a different class. I think Chris said maybe he didn't have the performance he wanted, but my comment on that was like maybe he didn't place that high, but just my thought process on that, I'm like, keep it in perspective. You're still like going out there and competing against people where I'm like, there's a lot of people that just go to the gym and, would talk about wanting to go do something like this
for years
and will never do it.
Yep. Never, ever.
I'm like, you're doing better than all of those people that don't have the balls to try it, that would really like to, and probably would, but like, I'm like, just having the balls to go and do it is worth quite a bit in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Because I've seen a lot of people that probably actually want to do that stuff, but won't do it just because they
and also should too.
Right. But just like a number of different reasons. Sometimes it's ego based, and because you're never as strong as you think you want.
Yes, we've seen a number of people over the years that should have competed multiple times, but they just never think their numbers are where they should be, so they don't do it. And it's like, that's kind of also part of why you don't think your numbers are where they should be, because you're not competing.
Right. So that was my little tidbit to him. I was like, keep it in perspective. Even if you didn't place how you want to, you still.
It's like old Larry Legend says, just doing it gives you just such a sense of accomplishment.
Yes.
And he ain't wrong.
That's Larry Legend also says, if I can't get it up for just one big set, You might as well start throwing the dirt on me now.
He does. That is what he says.
That's classic Larry. If I can't just turn it on for just one set anymore.
And it's funny because he wasn't saying that smiling or laughing, or he was just was just like, talking, and that was just what came
throwing
up.
the dirt on me now.
Yep.
So that was our supporting member segment. So shout out to those guys for all competing. Looked like a really cool competition. One of the events, that was keg related. It was at a brewery. One of the events was Strongman cornhole, where they had the throwing sandbags like they would use at the Rogue, where it was giant cornhole boards that were, the hole was like that big, and you were maybe like 20 feet back, and you had to throw the sandbag to try to,
Did it matter if it made it to the hole?
Yeah, it was scored, I think.
So there was some skill to this.
Yeah, I don't know if it played
strength.
out exactly the same way that cornhole does. It's not 2-on-2. But
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a cool idea, I think.
I always like...
Big Chris said it was 25 feet from the hole.
I always like some strongman events.
Oh, and Big Johnny's in here, too. He said in the hole was 5 points.
Wow.
40-pound sandbags. On the board was 3 points.
Wow, okay. So, it didn't matter.
I think that's a pretty cool event.
That is.
That's fun. And I think that was the last one maybe too. So that's a cool way to cap something off like that. All right. So thank you supporting members. And also thank you to SPUD Inc. SPUD Inc. straps. They sell a lot of equipment for strongman competitors. If you're into strongman competing and training, we have some of this stuff like the Strongman Stone Strap. It's something that you can help use as a training tool if you're learning to lift Atlas stones, or just for simply like moving them around the gym when you're not really training them. You just need to get them up a couple steps, or makes it a little simpler to move them around. You can also use it on sandbags too. I've seen some people around the gym use it for that too. They have Strongman harnesses, so if you're working on your truck pull practice, or it's just you could hook it up to a sled and pull it that way if you want to do sled pulls. They do have a few different options for the Strongman harnesses. And then they have the what I consider like the classic SPUD Inc. Strongman belt that's like the ratcheting belt.
It's a classic.
Yeah, then they have other things like kind of like an economy version of farmer's handles. It's just straps. You can get a pair of them for $80. They can travel easily anywhere you go, and it's just straps that are kind of a simple way to make a farmer's carry device with just some plates and these straps. All kinds of other options. Check them out. spud-inc-straps.com. Look for the black and yellow. Order $75 or more, and you get free shipping.
Well, there you go.
Can't beat it. So thank you, SPUD Inc. Should we get our guest on the horn? Say goodbye to the Discord?
Let's do it.
Okay.
See you, Discord.
They just won't leave, will they? No. They're just hanging on. Like, we're not.
Okay.
All right.
Got him out of there.
No, should we try and give Big Mike a call?
Let's do it. Big Mike. It's funny when you say it that way.
Hello?
Big Mike, is that you?
Oh, you're not in my headphones. Let's see what we can you hear me now.
We can hear you. It's got a okay. Now I think it's good. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I got a new pair of headphones. Hopefully it doesn't sound like shit.
No, it sounds pretty good.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Beautiful.
Right. What kind of headphones did you get?
Dude, I've been on this refurbed, like used product grind. I just feel so good when I get a deal, you know? So I got these
we get that.
Sony. Yeah, it's the best feeling ever. So I got these Sony over-the-ear guys that are normally like $400, $500.
Is it like the crazy WFM 4000, like just too many numbers and letters?
Yeah, it might be actually. It's not like the craziest pair, but it's like kind of a crazy pair.
Do they have noise canceling and everything?
Yeah.
I think those are kind of the gold standard.
Dude, I got them for like $150.
It's pretty good.
So are they wired or wireless?
Wireless.
Okay.
Because I needed like a travel headphone. I use little AirPod Maxes, you know, but it's just not the same. I'll do those for cardio or something, but an airplane or like a real trip, I kind of want the signal, the fuck you, or like don't talk to me headphones, you know?
Yeah. So Mike, you know the podcasting game. Obviously, we're recording this a little bit before the episode goes live, and we just wanted to thank you for because we recorded this so much in advance for coming on our show before you were a guest on the Let's Get Stupid podcast.
Yeah, you guys know how, the priorities and my PR team work. There's only room for a couple of Midwesterners in my heart, and my heart goes out to northeastern, western Dakotas.
Yeah. Oh, and those guys don't get it. We just have such a backlog of episodes we're trying to release that they don't realize we recorded this like in July.
Yeah.
And it happens to come out after their episode.
It was really cool for you guys to have me on when I was 16 and I first touched a barbell too. That was a good time. That was dope.
We're early spotters of talent over here.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Yeah, you really believed in me. You guys really trampolined my career, bolted me forward.
Yeah. You can thank us for that later.
Yeah, I will. Only Milwaukee's finest. Is that what you guys drink too? Is that what everyone drinks out there?
You gotta try pretty hard to find that around here. That's
What was Huck? Were they talking about drinking Miller Lite and that sort of thing? Yeah, that stuff's all common. I don't know though anymore. Like everyone's like, it's all the same everywhere, isn't it? Like I don't know.
I feel like it's every bar in the country has the same beers. Like everything.
Yeah.
Is, you have Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light,
and then a
like
selection of like some local IPAs and
so there's a few local bars on tap, and then there's all of like the big independent breweries like Sierra Nevada and like Surly stuff and whatever. I mean, it feels like it's the same everywhere.
I think so too, but they were so weird about it. They're like, we're in LA, can't find a fucking Miller Lite. I'm like, you're crazy, dude. Like, you're Los Angeles, the biggest city on the planet. I think you can find a Miller Lite.
I think they're playing up the they're playing up the Midwest vibe a little bit, I think.
Dude, I didn't know Sierra Nevada was so big though. That's out by us. That's like our local-ish beer.
Yeah, I mean I think you'd have a hard time going to a bar that carries more than like 10 beers around here that doesn't have that.
That's pretty cool.
And we're in the middle of nowhere, so
yeah.
True. Like my family's from Ohio, so like I know the Midwestern thing, but yeah, they were like, raising their nose up at Bud Light or something, drinking Miller Lite like they're fucking Dom Perignon, I'm like, what's going on over there?
You did hit on a pretty hot button issue around here. Ohio as the Midwest.
It's
been a long debated discussion on specifically whether Ohio is Midwest or not. What's your take?
I think it depends on where you're coming from. So yeah, my dad was born in Cleveland, and I called it the East Coast. Which, before your listeners get on my ass, I realize a coast means there's water there, and they're not in the Atlantic Ocean. Like I realize it's not, but it's like just as close to the Atlantic Ocean as I am to the Pacific Ocean. Right. And I'm in. You're gonna call me? I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah, well, and I think a pretty large portion of our listeners tend to think that Ohio is not Midwest lately. That seems to be the way the debate's moving.
Yeah, there's certainly camps of both. There's a lot of Ohioans in our group that want to claim it as Midwest, that insist it is. But our perspective as being somewhere in the middle of the country, when we go out there, that is pretty close to the East Coast. Like what you're saying, what you're saying checks out to me. Just like in making that trip, I'm like, damn, we just spent like 25 hours to get here. We only got to go like 2 more, and then we're all the way east.
I mean, what the hell are you guys? Is the question. Are you the mid north?
Yeah, we're the very western edge of Midwest. Really, honestly, like we are on the razor's edge of Midwest.
Yeah, because you could actually make almost the same argument for Ohio, that if you go just a couple hours west, some people would even kind of say you're in like the mountain territory.
Right. Then. Yeah. If you the western half of South Dakota is much more like Wyoming, Montana,
mountains,
almost Colorado-y, where the eastern half is much more Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, that vibe.
But then you got like you got Idaho and like Wyoming and stuff, and they don't call that the Midwest, right? No, I think Midwest. I think like Kansas.
Yeah.
We're right on that edge. We do live in a weird, but like if you were here, the vibe is 100% Midwest. Like whatever people would think as Midwest, that's completely what our town is. And
like all the stereotypes.
Yes.
Like, just look them up and then drive down the street and you'll see them all.
And we're also not far from Canada either. It's kind of why
Yeah.
I talk
And they got
the way
all
that
the,
I do.
yeah, you guys, yeah, you got the Midwest talk for sure. I've only been to Toronto really in terms of Canada, and that's like a whole nother animal. There's not a lot of A's and stuff going on, there's like, it felt like New York. Like there's so many people from everywhere.
Yeah, that's different too. We're more like, Big Jessica, the human forklift. She's basically straight north of us, right?
I think she's west a
Northwest
little
just
ways
bit.
too. Yeah.
She's more.
Where the hell is she? In the middle of nowhere?
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Yeah, which is the northern edge of nowhere. Honestly, like you go much more north of her, and it's
there's
like
just nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't. Things don't.
Polar
exist.
bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, Santa Claus.
Yes.
That sounds fake. Saskatchewan. What? Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Saskatoon,
Saskatchewan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fake. that's not a place. I know Calgary's up there. Shout out my boy Bryce, but I don't know about Saskatoon.
Yeah, there seems to say it's real. We can't verify it.
I haven't been there, so I just have to take their word for it.
Yeah, whatever. Your listeners are blessed to have a geography lesson like this. They thought they were going to talk about some stupid barbells and like lifting weights or something actually annoying, but now they know everything about North America.
No, so see the people that clicked on this episode that saw your name and don't normally listen to us, that's the rude awakening they're in for. The people that normally listen to our show, they're like, oh no, this is
track. Everything's going according to plan.
Tuned in for.
I've just been reviewing movies as content because lifting's so stupid, Like, what am I, like the barbell's been the same for 100 years. I don't have anything else to talk about. It's round, you load weights on it, you move it in different directions, and you build some muscle.
That's true, but then people pop up out of the woodwork like constantly, especially with the expansion of platforms that like are just reinventing the same stuff that we've spent, the better part of over a decade maybe either producing or consuming or seeing, and it's like people are doing it all over again and like getting wildly popular. A ton of traction off of it. Like it just seems that I guess there's just enough new people coming in that are consuming it all the time that are like, well, I need to know like what my cues I should look for in a front squat, even though like that video existed 30 times over the
100 of those videos existed in 2012.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm a bad content creator. I'm a bad at my job. I'm not going to do that again. I'm over it. You're right though. Like isn't TikTok the most downloaded app in human history?
I think so.
Yeah. That's wild.
At least in our version of the simulation.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. So yeah, I don't know if you guys know JPG. He's like one of the big dogs on TikTok. He's like a bodybuilding coach. He's a buddy of mine. Okay. And he puts out really, really good information. But yeah, like the scale to things, if you had 50,000 Instagram followers and you're like a power lifter, 5 years ago, you're like pseudo fucking Tom Cruise famous.
Right.
But this dude's got like 6 million followers.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? That was Kim Kardashian. Swear the biggest Instagram in 2013 was like Kim Kardashian with 6 mil.
Yeah, and we talk about this too, though. But what's so weird is how every platform, the numbers are kind of just imaginary money. Like the numbers aren't. It isn't a static like line of 6 million means this across all things. Like 6 million on YouTube versus 6 million on Instagram versus 6 million on TikTok versus 6 million for podcasts all mean way different things.
YouTube subscribers, for example. Mike, do you know how many YouTube subscribers you have?
Like 160?
Like that's a lot in terms of YouTube to me. That means more. That means way more. And I have a bias. I have like more of a 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015 like skewed perception of things. But like that YouTube number means way more to me than if I see a TikTok account that has that same number of subscribers.
Yeah. That's because we're old, boys. We've gotten old. We're the old guys now.
I mean, if you're making a comparison, I think there's numbers to prove this too, that like a YouTube, like an exact comparison of YouTube to TikTok followers, like a YouTube audience is always more valuable than TikTok.
For sure. And podcasts being the top and like my 1,000 VIPs on OnlyFans really do help pay the bills. So
that's where the real money is.
It is all relative for sure. Yeah. It's definitely different. I agree. But the kids don't know that. I don't know if the kids know that because they're watching them for 3 seconds, all veiny with perfect lighting on TikTok, and then you don't even know their names. And I'm on TikTok a lot now. I'm scrolling around and I'll recognize faces, but I don't know names. Where I'm biased as well, obviously. And you like, you know who Christian Guzman is, like, you know who
Right.
Matt Ogus is, like,
Right,
you know,
right.
like the OG YouTube cats, because you're watching them for half an hour, 3 times a
Right.
week.
And I have gotten so comfortable and familiar with like the powerlifting strongman Instagram scene that it's like an account doesn't just show up to me that like that they're involved in that scene on Instagram.
They're
and
like blindsided.
Then I
like,
don't like, I'm like, oh, they got 80,000 followers. I've never seen them before. I'm like, no, that doesn't happen, but that's like 100% of what TikTok, like my experience on TikTok is. I'm like,
Yeah. And there's a lot of them, right? There's like,
yeah.
I didn't know the analytics. I should have looked it up, but like, yeah, the amount of accounts with 100,000 followers is insane. There's probably millions.
How do you like, I mean, you use all these,
I
forums.
pretend.
Well, you do a good job, obviously, and you have for years. But like, so TikTok being the newest one, and obviously it kind of changed the game a little bit. Like, how do you see it now? Do you like it? Like, have you grown to like it better than some alternatives, or what do you think about it?
I think I'm a pretty bad consumer, and as like you guys, like our brain, you get like content brain. You always like look at things differently because you make it.
Oh, it's an issue at some point in time that I'm like, I can't enjoy things because
like,
I'm
you can't
just
sit
constantly
back.
thinking of how like we could use this.
It's like reverse engineering,
Yeah.
or how can I do that? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, like YouTube, early days, I only really watched for like marketing purposes, or they were my friends. I never like consumed it. I guess Instagram I would be the biggest consumer of, you know, that just because you caught around scrolling, and like I like clothes and shoes and cars and sports. So like my Instagram, the people I follow is a mix of that plus work stuff, you know, fitnessy, where I don't really listen to podcasts either until I travel, you know, like it's hard not to throw on a 3-hour Rogan on a road trip. It just makes time fly by. But in my day to day, I don't really like purposely go and consume stuff besides Twitch. Twitch was like the first platform that I like felt more of like a consumer or part of the community than a creator on. And I've been watching that for, I don't know, 8 years or something. On the nerd life, boys.
Yeah, and I know you've streamed on Twitch, and it's for me, it's I don't exactly even know what the Twitch experience feels like or what that interface really looks like because I've never even used it before. But I did like you'll be able to tell me right away if this is true. I'd read a few articles on it a while ago. Like there was some concern about Twitch getting, I don't know, phased out. That's not the exact right phrase.
Yeah.
But that like YouTube was going to do things that would like take it over, push it out, whatever. That it wouldn't be viable going forward. Is that at all what's happening?
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know if it's happening yet, but it will happen. I think it's almost guaranteed. Like Twitch, the best thing it has is culture. I assume your audience is probably around your guys' age. That's just kind of works on the internet. So that some of them might know Justin TV. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. But that was like the first like live streaming platform, kind of around the early YouTube days, like 2010. And that turned it into Twitch.
It was,
and then
they followed. It was like he was like one of the owners or whatever, and they literally just followed him around like his life, basically.
Yeah,
like 24/7. Like I think he'd like go into the bathroom and like maybe even sometimes like the camera would follow him or hang out outside the bathroom, that sort of thing.
No, there was no rules. There was some weird shit happening on that website. Then there was like what was a roulette type website where
like chat roulette?
Yeah, you just saw dicks everywhere.
Oh, that was like right when I like going to college. Everyone's like, oh yeah, chat roulette. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Justin TV was kind of like that, except it's just you choose the channel. It's not as random. Like you click on the little thumbnail and you know whose wiener you're about to look at. Right. Like it was kind of like that. And then Amazon bought it. So long story short, I think it's going to get phased out because although the culture is so awesome and it has like, that's like probably the thing I really like about anything. That's why I like sports. That's why I like clothes or whatever. Like the culture attached. That's why I like powerlifting. Like I don't like deadlifts. Like that shit hurts. Like who cares? I like the culture. I like the culture about it. You know, the culture aspect of powerlifting is cool in the community. And Twitch has that. That's the one chance they have to survive. But how they pay creators is literally like 50% less than YouTube. It's owned by Amazon now, so they just don't care that much. I don't think. I think you guys would like it when you dig in. Like you obviously know Ben Rice,
right? Yeah, like
sure. Yeah, like he's the fitness mogul on Twitch. He was one of the early adopters, and you guys know Game Day Barbell, like Joe Stanek, and all those cats are kind of on Twitch, and they don't stream as much because they're kind of my position, just open the gym. But there's some really like genuine good fitness folks on that website too.
So like how much of your Twitch, because when I think Twitch, I always just think people are just like watching video game streaming. Like how much of your Twitch consumption is video games versus other stuff?
Mostly video games for sure.
Okay.
Or they have like an IRL section. They call it something else now. So like podcasts or guys kind of, just being funny or whatever. I'll watch some of that, but a lot of mine's like actual gaming. Okay. I was kind of a fake nerd.
But there is a lifting community, like Ben Rice, for example. I see it on his Instagram that he's got all this, like his, I don't know, supporters or whatever that are all listed on the screens behind him and all this stuff. And like we have some of our hardcore supporters are like super into Twitch and super into him. And like they've done events now, like around powerlifting, like including like Ben Rice, where I don't know the really details because I'm a little out of the loop, but it seems like they have a pretty hardcore group of, relative numbers. Maybe they're smaller than other platforms, but like in the lifting scene, it's like super tight knit. And like you said, the culture, I think, is a big deal over there.
No, it's amazing. Because then on top of that, I've gone into chats watching gaming and I'll like talk or whatever. And the streamers, like pro gamers or powerlifters. So they know like my content or Bart, Quan or Omar, like they know the homies because these guys like to lift. They just happen to be like pro gamers. So there's a lot of overlap happening, like more than you would think, which is really, really cool.
Right. Yeah, it is cool. And then, this is relevant. We're both using it now. Discord, like Discord for Massenomics. We were just talking about it. It was our 1 year since we launched our Discord this last week.
Dope.
And like we now, just 1 year into it, couldn't imagine Massenomics with not having our Discord community because it's like plays such an important role of everything we do anymore. Which is funny. Like that didn't exist to us a year ago.
Yeah, and that's all like gaming based.
Yeah.
Like like that started in the gaming industry, in the Bay Area. And I'm actually still surprised how many people, I don't really care if people use it or not, but I am surprised how many people don't even know about it still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Discord's so easy to use. It's so fun. It's literally just a group chat.
It's just like it's simple, easy to use like group chat, like just like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so fun. And obviously like the audio and stuff like is made for video games. And so like it's super instant, and the video even, it's like way better than Zoom and FaceTime in my opinion.
Yeah. No, and you guys I'm a member of your guys' Discord group, actually, a Third Street Barbell Good Company group. So
yeah, I didn't even like think about it for business for a long time. Me and the boys had it to play video games in, so we just needed somewhere to chat. So I created one, and then I'm like, oh, dude. And then obviously Twitch, like big Twitch streamers use it for business. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. What am I doing?
Yeah. I just want to shift gears. I don't want to miss talking about this. World's Strongest Man was in Sacramento the last couple of years, and you got the opportunity to be out there and spectate live in person. How was the in-person experience? Like, was it cool? Did it, like, as a spectator, was it not that great? Like, what are your comments on being there in person at it?
So we went both years, me and Jim McD. And so 1 year, it was in this area called Old Sacramento, which is super close to our gym. And it literally feels, you guys ever seen Westworld?
Yeah.
Dude, it feels like Westworld. And so, like Lewis and Clark, history, blah, blah, blah. Someone like moved from the East Coast and ended up in Sacramento. And so like, that's where they built it. And I think it's like legitimately like the 49er type buildings. Like they've revamped them a little bit, but it's like a historic area. And that's where they did Strongman, but it was COVID. So, you're only allowed to be in the area for like an hour. You go in, you're standing around for half an hour, then you watch them lift stones real quick, you cheer, and then you kind of like get kicked out. And I was like, all right, well, this is pretty lame. And I understand COVID, and we don't have to talk about COVID because every other podcast on the planet does, acting like they're a fucking doctor. But as a spectator, I was like, all right, this is very lackluster. Like, there was no booths. Like, I expected girls in bikinis throwing Rain Monster at me. I don't know, a Game of Thrones theme or something going on, There's so much, like, money in that sport now and, like, such a big following. Fast forward to this year, and it was much more like I thought. There was no Game of Thrones, and there was no rain being thrown at me, but they had a little expo. They moved it in front of the Capitol, which is a pretty cool view. I actually think it might premiere this week on CBS. It's very soon. Google it real quick. Yeah. It is very soon. So I think the views will be cool because we have this cool little bridge on one end, and it goes down like a mile-long street straight into the capital of California. And they basically closed down that whole street for the events. So I think the views were cool. The events are kind of hard. and I hate to make enemies, because I don't know who puts this thing on, and I know it's hard to run big events. I guess not make enemies, but I hate to be the critic, when I'm not putting in the work.
Right.
But there's no like bleachers or anything, and so like you're about 8 rows deep of humans.
Yeah.
And like, Brian Shaw's tall, so I can kind of see his traps through the crowd. I'm not that tall, but I'm not that short. I'm like 5'10", and so you're just kind of stuck like wiggling, trying to see shit. Where they could have built like just like regular bleachers probably would have done it, and you could see so much, and you could still fit enough people in there. Like little things like that, I think could really be improved upon. It's definitely worth going to, I think, but I think some of the issues with all these things, and I would even probably say the same for like USAPL Nats and stuff, which I went to my first one this year, is that it's understandable they move every year, right? Because you want to give you don't want to give an advantage to a certain like state of lifters, right? If it's always in California, the time change for the the East Coast guys, blah blah blah. I get it, but the better the venue you're going to use or the city you're going to use, the better you can set up for the event.
Yeah, plan your resources there.
Yeah,
And
just maximize everything.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like nothing at either place is where it's maximized. That's the best word. It was never maximized, and it's already sucks to watch these sports, right? Unless like the actual lift's happening. Like it's a 5 seconds. 5 seconds is really fun to watch. Yeah. So like, how do we turn this up a little bit? And maybe they're not focused on that because maybe it is CBS running it, in which case I'll talk all the shit in the world. I don't care about big business, And so maybe they don't care because they just care about their post-production. But I just see so much potential in these things and moving every single year. Like I think they're coming back to Sacramento, but they're doing like Charleston in between or something.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. I think you're right. Yes.
Yeah. But and it's worth going to. If you're a fan of strength, it's cool to go to. I know you guys do the Arnold. You guys ever been to the Olympia?
We never have been to the Olympia. We were actually talking about we threw around the idea of coming to Sacramento this last year to go to World's Strongest Man.
Actually, Tanner, we were in the gym and Tanner goes, "Do you think we should go?" And I'm like, "Well, when is it?" And we looked and it was in 3 days.
And we're like, well, no, that's not.
Yeah, hard.
I think next time it comes to Sacramento, which I think that's the case, that they had one more year on the contract there or something like that. We will. We're going to try to make that happen. Because between like you guys being there and Alan being around in Sacramento is just it's I think a cool city, and I'm glad that they have
people like to hate on California, but it also is an awesome place to visit. I love it in California.
Exactly.
It's so cool.
And it's just so different too. Like obviously I'm biased, but like people are like California. I'm like, dude, I'm not in Hollywood.
Right,
I'm not even in San Francisco. San Francisco's 2 hours away, and it's like such a different city than where we're at.
Yeah,
I think it is worth going to, and I think it was free, so that's cool. You don't have to pay. There's a lot of politicians walking around because it was in front of the Capitol, like all that. Like it had cool vibes for sure. Yeah, it was cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So you and Jim McD have been at it together for a really long time. Now with Good Company, Third Street Barbell, and everything, and going back, I don't know, probably at least 10 years ago. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long time to work with anyone that closely on anything. What do you think is the secret sauce or whatever that has allowed you to
She just asked me like a marriage question.
Yeah.
So what is your advice for relationships?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Have you ever thought about it before?
A little bit. I think I'm an easygoing dude, and I think I communicate really well. Not to like toot my own horn, but. Like really is, joking aside, it is kind of like a marriage. Like business wise, it can be legally even, right, with taxes and shit, let alone like how much you have to communicate and stuff. And I'm still learning. I've run a bunch of businesses over the last 12 years with a bunch of different people. And I wouldn't ever say it gets easier, but you do get better at things. I just actually flew in, literally got off the jet like an hour ago, and I was hanging out with Bar Quan and Gio, the owners of Barbell Brigade, and we always just end up talking stuff along this lines. Bart does say hi, by the way, too. He says you guys were a lot of fun when he was on.
I was going to mention it when we had a break. He is a really fun podcast guest. Also, he was cool too.
Yeah, he's great. And we always like talk about this stuff, and it really is like a lot of the things we'll talk about, like relationships, friendship, or otherwise, and business, all are like cliche sayings, but they're kind of true. Like communication, like expressing your role, like expressing who you are, like what you need, what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you're partners good at. Like we could literally hop on a Dr. Phil podcast right now. It's the same shit. Like, and it is true. So, every human's different how they communicate. Some people are easily being super blunt and being so super straight up. Other people, like even me, like I don't love conflict. I like to have fun. I like to joke. I don't like being all serious all the time, but there's kind of a time and place for all of it. And I think some of the truth is like, and everyone probably already knows this, but like Jim and I are very different. So that like helps in some ways too, where like our strengths are in different areas, our what we like is in different areas. Podcasting and like content's kind of easy as long as you're like buddies. I feel like our podcasting career is really easy. Business has been a little harder, not for like any particular reason other than like there's like more money on the line. So your stress level is already high.
Well, and you're like experimenting costs money. Like when it comes to making content, it's like, it'll just cost you time for the most part.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to business stuff, like you're kind of guessing always, and you hope you don't guess wrong more than you're guessing right.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The risk is just higher. And then, it's kind of like being on like a legitimate sports team or like playing like kickball. Like you can play kickball with any friends, have beer and have fun. But if you're going to go play like, varsity college or like professional stuff, you could be with your best friend, but you guys are probably going to get into it at some point. You're going to yell at him. He set a bad pick or bad block or whatever, like something's going to happen. So I'd say it's a little bit like that. I wish I had some secret sauce. I really don't. I don't consider myself a good businessman. I am a businessman just by what I fell into in life.
Would you
I wish I had better advice.
Would you say that you're a businessman or a businessman?
I'm definitely the latter Jay-Z businessman. Yeah. I feel like that was like the first influencer like line. That was bars for influencers. Like none of these little fucks on TikTok are actually businessmen. They're just like walking billboards.
Yes.
True, dude. Jay-Z bars from Dakota. Never thought that happened.
Oh yeah,
we're pretty hip to the jive.
Dude, that's good. Yeah, I thought you just listened to George Strait all day and sip the Milwaukee's finest.
Tanner could tell you that. I'm pretty lost in that. I didn't get that part of my childhood. Didn't have that part, but Tanner's was rich
I'm pretty
in that.
well versed in that part of it. Yes.
They get BET up there, huh?
But yeah,
you have to get an extra big satellite.
Yeah, that's all true. Growing up, you had to have that like those we had those enormous satellites around here.
See, I didn't have that. But you lived a little more. You were
I lived in the. I did live in the sticks, so like that was a thing.
Even here, it's so weird. I remember like driving by apartments and every like tiny patio no one's hanging on their patio. It's just full of satellites. Like how many channels you fucking need? Like what's going on?
You want to know a sweet thing about those satellites? Like the actual legit big ones that were like, like 8 foot around or 10 foot or whatever. We get a lot of snow here where we're at, and like sledding is a big thing, but we're in the prairie. There's no hills here. So sledding all around where I grew up, sledding was usually being pulled on a sled, like behind an ATV or behind a snowmobile, or sometimes just straight up behind a pickup. Yeah.
And, that sounds fun.
Yeah. It's way fun. I mean, it gets super dangerous when you get like enough kids that are old enough that are like driving things and going way faster than you should. But those satellites, you would tip the, once they were not in use anymore, set them down, like the round part down, and you could sit like 6 people inside of there. Yeah, it was a giant saucer sled, like pull it behind a pickup. It was like the best use of one of those satellites you could ever think of.
Dude, it's probably so cold up there though. I don't even think I'd leave my house.
It is.
Talk about the temperatures.
Well, before we get off the topic here, I just gotta get the West Coast input on this because I'm not sure if we've got this before. If someone, what do you call it when let's say you're driving in a car with someone, and whether there's a few ways you could do it. You could hit the e-brake and spin around.
Dude, I have to unfollow you guys because I see your clips. Okay. I see your clips, so I feel too prepared. I don't like being so prepared.
Okay. So you know where this is going.
What do you call it?
Yeah, I think like okay, this is good actually. I was gonna say like you would say pulling a donut. But what we would do is we might have even talked about it last time I was on here. There's something about Bay Area, and obviously we're not the Bay Area exactly, but we're an hour away. Rap music that literally just stuck in Northern California, and no one else on the planet knows it. and there was lingo and slang that did the same.
Like ghost riding the whip and all that.
That's what I'm talking about,
getting
dude.
hyphy with it and all that.
Dude, right? So even the word hella, I swear when I was growing up in high school, I'd go visit somewhere, even like Los Angeles or Ohio or something, and people would look at me so weird when I said that. And now everyone says it. Well, I was talking to the Game Day boys, and they're like, yeah, they're all like from like Jersey and DC and stuff. And they're like, yeah, we say hella. Oh, I learned it from my friend from California. I said, you probably learned it from your friend from Northern California. Like, it was so specific. But ghost riding the whip, or we call them sideshows. Sideshows is kind of when they would use like scrapers. I don't know how your guys' editing is, but you got to show a sideshow and a scraper when you throw this on TikTok. Like, look up Marshawn Lynch. Like, there's a lot of celebrities from the area that kind of brought the culture to mainstream. But we're talking like 1983 Cadillac DeVilles with 300,000 miles, but you're throwing $2,000 rims on them. You're lowering them. They used to have these things called whistle tips.
Oh yeah.
And they would put a whistle basically in your exhaust pipe. So when you're revving,
it's only in the morning. They're supposed to be up making breakfast.
Bro, you gotta be up making breakfast or something. Yeah, so that's Oakland. Yeah. So then you get like 8 buddies with these scrapers. Your doors are open. You're just pulling donuts, listening to Mac Dre, and that's my childhood.
Yeah.
I
Sounds
like it.
magical.
Yeah, I do like that.
But we don't have an exact term. Yeah, but a sideshow is when a bunch of people would be pulling donuts. The sideshow.
So I guess the long story of it is that like people were or weren't whipping shitties though. Is that?
Nah. Yeah, if you're whipping a shitty out here, I'm looking at you weird. Yeah. Yeah, I'm throwing you some Charmin. Who knows what you're doing?
Okay. All right.
That was the main thing we wanted to get you on here this week to talk about. So
that's important.
Thank God we covered that.
Yeah.
Would you recommend? So we have a gym here, Massenomics Gym. It's not like our main business. It kind of operates on the side. It's a little bit of a club, and the way it works out, like I won't get into the details here, but like it just kind of works out, and like it's not super labor intensive. It's also not super profitable, and the way it's formatted, it never really would be. It just is what it is. It's a thing we can use. We enjoy. It's a place for us to lift and all that stuff. But you have a real business that's a gym. And like a lot of people will talk about, how they want to own a gym someday. Yeah. Or how they think it would be dope to own a gym or run a gym, or like how that's like that's some people's dream scenario almost, I think.
It's what they're working towards.
Right. Like, the most direct question is, if someone told you that, would you recommend they do it or not?
First off, I think like you guys' situation with your gym is like more powerlifting than anything else. Like that's what Westside Barbell was. That's what Super Training was. Like that's so normal. Like it's more of a men's club that pays dues. Which I think is fucking rad.
Vibe. Yeah,
that's rad.
Yeah,
because like especially where you guys are, even where I am, like there's not 5,000 strict powerlifters, like it's not that crazy. Like me and Bar were talking about that, like there's not that many powerlifters. Even when we're talking about TikTok, like the bodybuilders have 6 million followers. The powerlifters still have 100K. It's such a different thing. To the main question, I see it both ways, right? Because like everyone asks this question, and I've asked everyone this question, and people's very first take is always like, gyms are terrible businesses. They're so hard to make money. Right, like you've probably heard people say, like, don't open a gym if you want to make money.
The general consensus for the most part, yeah.
But that's literally any industry you go to. Right. So, like,
people say that about restaurants all the time too.
So that's literally what I was about to say.
Yeah, apparel company, like, kind of everything. Yeah.
A lot of my friends, you guys know Big Dan. He's an old Super Training guy. He lives with me. He owns his own company. Him and I invest in some companies here and there. You guys just got an exclusive. I haven't told anyone, but we're investing in a restaurant together. And like same thing. I go to all my restaurant friends.
They all say
that know the business. Yeah, they're like, oh, restaurants are terrible. Don't do that. I'm like, well, what business do I open? What business is great? Like, I'm not going to invent Bitcoin. Like, if you don't invent Bitcoin, is there no business that's profitable? Like, what are we talking about?
Real estate. Real estate. That's what all YouTube videos tell me. If everyone just owns 10 houses, then no one's poor anymore. I think that's how it works.
Right. It's just such trash. So I think, and then counter to that, to play a little bit of dad or mentor here, I do think that you wanting to open a gym or the dream of owning a gym isn't what you think it is. And no job is. We can scale that all the way down to college. I have a whole rant on college where you get an engineering degree because you like problem solving, but you don't know what a day-to-day job is being an engineer.
No, absolutely not.
And I don't either because I'm a college dropout. But the point is, you don't know if you like that job. You like what you think that job is, you know? And owning a gym is very much like that. You're not like, or like you like lifting weights doesn't mean you like coaching people.
That's the classic thing. I'm like, yeah, you like lifting.
Yeah.
Like we all like, you know, like of course we like lifting, but there's so much of it that isn't you lifting.
Even if you do like coaching, it's probably a good chance you're not good at it either, though, is the other thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's an even better statement. Like, yeah, you want to open a gym, and yeah, maybe you're a great coach or a great lifter, but like, are you a good businessman? Because the truth is, it's just another business. Right. All businesses are run very similar, right? You need some marketing, you need some logistics, you need some data analysis, you need a little bit of creativity, and all those pillars of what you need change based on what the industry is, right? If you're running an architecture company, maybe you need less like pure creativity. If you're running an apparel company, maybe you need more creativity or whatever. I just made that off the top of the dome, but you know what I mean. Yep. You're running construction or whatever. So I think you can make a shit ton of money in fitness. And I think you and I and all your listeners could probably think of a friend or an influencer or a coach that we know that makes a shit ton of money off their gym and other products. You can make money a lot of freaking ways in a lot of places. Is it easy? No. So if you want to open a gym, don't open it as a hobby. Don't open it as a place you need to lift unless you want it to be the men's club. You have to look at it as a business and how you're going to make money and how you want to make money. But and don't just like open it wherever, however, whatever, right? Like you have to do some research, but I don't suggest for it or against it ever. Because I think it's possible, you know, if you're in the right city, you do your analytics, you check out your demographic, what style of gym you want to open to, your business plan, et cetera. You can definitely make money. Look at freaking Alpha Land.
Yeah, where's that at?
Houston, Texas.
Okay. Yeah. Houston's kind of a hot spot too.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, Texas in general, I suppose, but
yeah. I think Texas is huge. Like obviously powerlifting, like there's high school powerlifting, which is crazy. And then you get a bunch of big, strong guys, the Ronnie Colemans, you know, there's a ton of history there.
Right.
And then there's just a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
There's an insane amount of people. Like it makes sense.
Who, we had him on the podcast. He opened up his gym, Indy City Barbell, Big Steve.
Steve.
You know, and it's funny, we talked to him about that, and you know, he had this idea of running a gym, and he wasn't from Indy or anything like that, but he like had done kind of his market research, and he's like, the kind of gym I want to open, there really isn't anything like that in Indianapolis, and it's a market size of this many people.
That's why he went there. Like,
and he went there because it's like it just made sense, like from what he saw, and I'm like, that's. Yeah, I mean, we even told him at the time, I'm like, that's kind of the part that sometimes people are missing on this is like
does the market even support this gym?
Right.
100%. I love Steve, by the way. Big fan.
Yes.
He's an old barbell brigade guy, so I used to see him all the time.
Yeah.
He opened a like one-on-one or small group training facility when he lived in LA. So he obviously had like some smaller dip your toe in type career with running a facility, running a gym, coaching people. And then like you guys just said, you do some market research, you treat it like a legitimate business.
Right.
You do your work, and then you open one. Like it's not as easy as like just collect equipment and chuck it somewhere and build it and they will come. Like it's not that easy. I wish it was.
Oh, especially nowadays, almost nothing is build it and they will come. Like I think maybe 20 years ago that might have been the case, but there's so many things that are not that way anymore.
Yeah, you have to be in like the exact place for that to actually work, But I would never tell anyone to not follow their dreams. I'm a little bit risky with my money and like a little bit risky in general, I think, in that aspect of my life. But like, I don't have kids, I don't have a wife, like if I fuck up, I fucked up. So I have kind of confidence, and I have confidence in myself. So I just kind of run at things. I'd find a balance there too. You need to be able to take a risk and kind of dive in head first. You can't really tiptoe around these things. But you don't have to be as crazy as me either.
Yeah, no, I think that's good advice. That all is makes sense and probably like jives with a lot of how we see it from our experience too. That's cool. So
That's any business. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other reference too is like, it's okay to like lifting be your hobby too. I think that's what people don't understand. I've used this
Right.
reference a lot, or analogy, where like we all drive cars and we should know the basics. Like inflate your tires, check your oil, maybe change your oil, maybe battery, you know, like
Flush
depending
the
on who you are.
transmission.
Yeah. Maybe add a supercharger and
Check-
get 700 horses out of this stupid thing.
Check your blinker fluid
so-
when it's low.
Yeah. So there should be like certain levels, and some people like it more or whatever, and
Right.
get to it. But just because we all drive a car, we don't need to be mechanics.
right.
Like the main thing everyone asks me is like how to program.
That sounds
I
like
was
something
dude,
that big mechanics would not want the world to know, though. Are you on the?
Yeah, I'm actually their lobbyist. How do you guys know that? I'm a big lobby for mechanic and Pennzoil. But yeah, like everyone wants to be a coach, or everyone wants to learn how to program. Like, well, it's okay just to lift weights. It's okay to hire a coach and to like know about volume and intensity, but you don't have to know the intricacies. Like,
Yeah.
so you don't have to open a gym just because you like the deadlift.
That's true too. Like, that is a good point. You know, it's like, so we probably had every opportunity that we could have offered like coaching services at some point in time.
templates.
But yeah, but like, it's also like, well, we're so familiar with so many people that are so much better at that. And like, what do we have to add? Like, what could we ever add to an equation like that? Like, I'm like, I just agree with that wholeheartedly, that not every, a coach is a really good example of that, where it's like, you know, some people are well equipped for it, and I'm not telling people not to try it if it's what they want to pursue and stuff like that. But yeah, sometimes it is kind of like knowing your lane too. And
Well,
like,
yeah, just understanding the natural progression isn't lift, get better at lifting, and now you have to become a coach. Like that, that should be the exception, not the norm.
Yeah, or content creator. Like some of you fuckers are boring. Some of you guys have no skill.
Yeah, some just
I'm not going to follow you.
Right. Just so maybe some of you should just be consumers of the.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, buckle down, Sally, and chill out.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
And there again, like I never want to tell someone not to do it, because like anyone can do anything and try anything, but like all that, like running a gym or like getting TikTok famous, like. Getting TikTok famous is a lot of freaking work.
And it all involves a pretty high level of self-awareness too.
Yeah. No, it really does. And that's kind of like going back to the Jim McGee question. Like self-awareness is going to lead you everywhere. Like, what am I good at? What gaps do I need to fill on my team? What gaps do I need my business partner to fill? Or like, what am I good at on TikTok? Am I good at talking? Am I good at shaking my ass? Am I good at teaching? Like, what kind of content can you even put out? And that's not truth. I don't want to, stop anyone from doing things either. But the truth is, like, not everyone's cut out for this shit.
Right.
Having thousands of people listen to you say dumb things all the time, like it's hard work, boys.
Yeah, and then you find out there's people that like keep track of everything you say and hold it against you.
Call you out every time you say something different that you said 6 years ago.
Yeah. Fuck you for changing your opinions.
Here I have a little change of gears here. Basketball, your all-time starting five.
Man, that's hard. So like favorite to watch, or am I just trying to win?
You're the best, assembling the best team ever.
All right. We're going Magic Johnson,
running the point.
Michael Jordan
at the 2.
LeBron James.
Yep.
I'm going with Hakeem the Dream.
Okay.
And Shaquille O'Neal.
Two bigs.
I think you want the hot takes here?
Yes.
I think that Shaquille O'Neal should be in the best player of all time conversation.
He is I'm a pretty big basketball fan myself, always have been. And Shaq is, I grew up just a big Shaq fan. He's my favorite player of all time by far, hands down. And so I agree with that, but I know that that's not necessarily the popular opinion. What people hate it. What people say and do agree with is, in his peak, he was arguably the most dominant player of all
but
time.
I don't know why they have to say that.
Yeah,
no one will say like in his time he's the best player. They won't ever say that. They always just say dominant. What the fuck does that mean? Like, why can't you just say best? Say best, dude. He was the best player when at everyone's absolute fucking peak. He was the best.
In 2001, there wasn't any, like, if you were starting a basketball team, anyone would have picked Shaquille O'Neal, was the number one pick to start a basketball team if it's 1999 to 2003 or, you know, like whatever. The
conversation forever was, is Kobe better than Jordan? Right. Well, in those years, Kobe was behind Shaq.
That's
he was number 2 option.
That would be my take.
Did you see the
dude just made people look ridiculous? No, I haven't. I will be watching
it. Okay. So I think it's technically more about the Orlando Magic, the expansion team.
Oh, I have heard about that. Yes.
Dude, it's really good. And it just makes you love Shaq even more. Like, when he was like 19, 20, 21, he was such a freak of nature. He's funny.
Yeah, when you
he's fucking funny.
When you watch the Orlando clips, like he'll go coast to coast and you'll be like,
no,
oh my God, dude. That's like, I didn't know people were made that way. Like that is absolutely freakish.
And like so many people now kind of have like Shaq in their mind as kind of just this big kind of goofy
heavy
guy. And it's like, no, he was like
a freak.
Mean killing machine then. Like,
dude, I think you guys, probably a friend of the show. I don't want to speak for you, but Johnny Candido.
Oh, yeah. Johnny's been on before. I believe it was
Johnny.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe Johnny one time put in his story.
Oh, if he did World's Strongest Man. Yes.
Yeah, and if you hop on some PEDs or more PEDs or whatever, however you want to.
If he would have done that when he was 23 years old or whatever.
I'm pretty sure people voted.
Yeah. Oh, can you still hear us?
Like, what the? Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good now.
People voted no that he would win World's Strongest Man. That just tells.
Oh, we're losing you, Mike. Just in case you can still hear us.
Is that something on my end?
I don't know. Mike, you there?
Oh, I got really good chat conversation going on here.
I think my headphones broke.
Okay. Now we can hear you.
Are you there now? Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe his headphones, maybe it was those refurb headphones. It was the deal was too good to be true. You don't get $400 headphones for $100. Oh, I think he's maybe switching the source on us.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to miss out. On that Shaq conversation.
We're echoing.
Should I unplug this?
Maybe unplug yours. Just put it on speaker until you hear him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What? Wait, maybe you should just call him again because your phone is echoing everything we say. I don't know. Or do you still have it on?
I'll just try recalling him back. Yeah, we can't. That's too good of a
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
No, to be continued.
There you go. We'll just fix all this in post.
Not.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Can you hear us? Oh.
Oh, there we get the echo.
Boys, can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. I think it's my headphones. So what happened, the weird story, I let my roommate borrow my car and he pulled it into the garage and I think my phone attached to the car speaker.
Oh, yeah, probably connected.
We kind of figured that headphone deal was too good to be true.
Yeah, the refurb headphones came back to get you.
Dude, fucking pieces of shit. I think they might die too because now I'm on my phone. Let me see if these ones work.
There was really good Shaq conversation going on too.
We were hitting the climax there. You could say.
Yeah.
All right. Well, about to on Johnny. Let's follow where we left off.
We still got you really echoey again.
All right. Let me try to hide. I was in a hallway. How are we now?
That's better.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's better.
Medium.
Yeah. No, that's
that's
good.
I think they're followers. Sorry, listeners, for my car jacking our conversation here. I think a bunch of people, a large amount of people.
Start it over though. So Johnny put a poll.
Johnny's a very smart kid, dude.
Yeah.
And I say kid lovingly. Some people get insulted by that, but I mean that in the most loving way. He puts out like just very good questions, and he's a deep thought guy. And he said, if Shaq took PEDs or more PEDs, would he be World's Strongest Man if he trained it for a little while? And he might even give like a specification of training or something because Johnny's way more well thought out than me. And the question is, fuck yeah. There's no conversation about it. Where like a bunch of his followers voted no, that he couldn't do it. And to those people, I say you have never played elite like freaks, athletes.
Yeah.
Like I've played a ton of ex-pro NBA players, D1 players. I've played with freak of freaks, and they literally make me feel like an uncoordinated deer.
Yeah.
Like there's freaks there. And no offense to Hafthor. Hafthor played like in the worst professional basketball league on the planet.
Right.
Yeah.
And he whooped ass as a strongman.
Yeah.
And not he's not a great athlete and this and that, but this we're talking about one of the freakiest fucking humans to ever step foot on our simulation, Shaquille O'Neal. He's gonna whoop ass. He'd probably be a power lifter. He could do anything he wanted. Like there's just no question in my mind. Same with the football conversation.
Right.
People are like,
it's the NFL players, yes.
Oh,
dude,
like,
do you know Chubbs, the Cleveland Brown? The dude just squatted
Yeah.
675
Yeah.
and Nike Freeze, no belt,
Right.
ass to grass. You know what I mean? Like, and he doesn't even, he probably squats once a month. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And he weighs 200 pounds.
Yep.
If he wanted to be a power lifter, it's fucking over for us.
Well, the freakiest of freaks are playing in the NBA and the NFL. It's where the money's at. It's where the fame's at. It's like what draws them in, and that's just it's short-sighted, or it's not understanding that fact to think that someone like Shaq wouldn't excel, or think that Aaron Donald wouldn't be an insane power lifter if he wanted to be wanted to do powerlifting. You know?
Yeah, like everyone we know that dominates in our world. We're like D2, D3,
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like again, no offense to these guys. Like Wes Kitts went freaking Olympic. You guys know Wes.
Yeah,
He's a Cal strength weightlifter. He played D3 football.
right.
You're telling me that there's no linebacker in the NFL that's more athletic than that if he weighted for 8 years, and weightlifting is slightly different, right? Because it is highly technical. But you give it five years, like they're going somewhere, dude. There's just no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's like Greg Knuckles. I heard him talking about it the other day. They were talking about NFL players as it pertains to bodybuilding. And the question was like, so if all NFL players switched to bodybuilding, if bodybuilding was where was all the money was at, and all this talent pool that's in the NFL now, they all did bodybuilding instead, how many of those guys would be on the Olympia stage? You know,
Probably.
Like his comment was like, he's like, I think that there's 16 people that make the Olympia. I think 10 to 12 of them would be
of the current stage would be gone.
Yeah, and would be these NFL players if they chose to.
I don't
if
think that's
where the
unreasonable
draw
at all.
was,
Like,
you know.
Imagine Cam Newton. He's a fucking black sebum, dude. He'd look insane.
Yep.
Like there's freaks out there, dude. Like, yeah, people don't. Or Randy Moss. Randy Moss was so skinny. Imagine if he doesn't have to run no more. Dude just eats steak and freaking does pec deck all day.
Even like
he's gonna kill it.
Even a lot of the no-name guys, though, once you get close to them, you're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Holy
you're
crap.
6'4", 250,
Yeah.
and like 8% body
Diced.
fat. Like,
Yeah.
how does that happen?
Yeah, and almost every position.
Yeah.
You know? Like a running back has a chance to be
and
like a
you
212
don't
guy.
even get to play, and you look like that.
Yeah. Bench. That's what people just don't understand, dude. If you're a pro and you're on the bench, you're a fucking freak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going into any gym, you're benching 400. Like, yeah, there's such levels to this game. It's actually insane. Shaq, LeBron, like LeBron could be world's longest man. I have zero doubts. Like, there's just so many animals like that.
That actually reminds me of a long time ago. We wrote an article about if these NFL players power lifted, and I believe Tanner, you wrote something in there about how we assume that like Eli Manning could probably bench 315, and the number of people that got so butthurt that no way could Eli Manning bench 315.
Like, dude, this
he's
guy's
like
still
6'5", 220, and he's been in a weight room. He's been around football in a weight room his entire life.
Like to assume that he couldn't bench 275 to 315. I'm like, come on, this guy. Like, I know you look at the NFL field and you see one of the least athletic guys out there. I look at a guy that's 6'4", whatever we said, 240, and probably like 10 times more athletic than every one of us that thinks we're a little athletic. You know,
they're just so mad that they never can bench 315 or it was so hard from them. You know what I mean? Like literally, that's literally it. I just tried to look up his combine. I don't think he did it.
He probably didn't have to. That's how he's like, I'm getting drafted number one or whatever. Like, I don't need to do that. Like,
and I'm saying he probably couldn't at every single day of his career, but I don't think it's crazy. I think at some point he probably could have.
Right.
Or even if they had, like if he had a bad strength coach and he didn't bench or whatever, not saying that you have to bench and be good.
Right.
You guys know what I mean? But if he benched like a powerlifter for a year, he's benching 315.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put my life savings on it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's no way. almost any quarterback, almost
Yes.
any. You know, like you're telling me Steve Young, that dude's a fucking savage. That dude's benching 405.
That's especially if that's what he wants to do. You know, like they don't want to do that. They don't care. So yeah.
I just you know, and I'm a bit of a hater, but that just tells me that people haven't been around freaks.
Yeah.
You go to any commercial gym, there's some bumfuck idiot benching 315.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
even the gyms here, like
Yeah.
when we used to go to the commercial gym, there'd be just a random person that would pop in that looks like they've never touched a weight, and they'd load up 405 on the bar and bench it. Like, how does that happen?
Yep.
Yeah, and how does the arguably top 3 quarterbacks of all time? He's not going to do it.
Yeah.
He's got no athletic bone in him.
Right.
That's racist. It's because he's white.
I don't think there's really a bench press stigma.
Yeah, maybe not. He's just like, it's the accent. It's the accent. It's kind of all of it. Brett Favre wearing Wranglers doesn't do it much for the athleticness.
Right. Mike, we've got this little game we like to play. You've actually played it before. It's called Overrated.
It's my favorite.
We've played it on your podcast before, even. So you're well versed in overrated, underrated.
Absolutely love it, dude.
And of course, we had to come with the fire again this time. So
I got one more hat we got to throw in there.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys seen Myles Garrett?
Yeah, he's a freak. He's an absolute freak.
Yeah.
Oh, that dude can't power lift.
Oh, if he power, I mean,
dude, he's going world record power lift, and then he's winning IFBB Olympia. He's doing both.
I would agree.
Easily in the same year, maybe even.
Like,
dude,
I don't think it would take that long for him to squat 800-900 pounds and deadlift 800-900 pounds. Like, I don't think it would take him that long if, like, today he decided that's what he wanted to do.
Dude, he's so built to be a conventional puller. His arms are just long as fuck with the giant traps. Yeah, it'd be crazy. My bad to interrupt. Back to overrated, underrated.
No, Myles Garrett is in particular, you know, like that's where it's like the freak amongst freaks too. Yeah, overrated, underrated. So you know how to play. You remember it.
Yep. Love it.
Okay. So let's kick it off here. I better consult my list to make sure I pick the right ones in the right order. Okay. Overrated or underrated Apex Legends?
Oh, that's good, dude. I love that. I actually think it's underrated. And this kind of goes into this whole athlete, not playing athlete conversation where like Apex Legends, for my non-gamers out there, it's a very difficult game. So people talk shit on it because they'll hop in and they absolutely suck. But like, it's literally a very difficult game. It's one of the most difficult first-person shooters in the modern era, and that's the game I've been playing. It's good. It's a good game. So I would still say, although it's popular, it's still underrated.
So if you're playing a game though, it's Apex Legends right now.
Yeah, dude. This is sad, and maybe it's part of getting old or what, but like that's where I get any ounce of competitiveness I have out is there. The GM of my gym, and he's my other roommate, Kyle. He basically runs Third Street. He's a really good gamer too. And so him and I, we play like ranked, like we play like competitive, and we just get after it. It has fun.
What else do you play besides, if you're not playing Apex, what would you play?
It kind of depends. Like I like the Call of Duties and the Halos and all that. Yeah. That's kind of like my vein. And then I do have a Switch. And so when I travel, I'll play a little, Mario Kart or Pokemon or something more mindless on an airplane.
Were you ever a Fortnite guy at all?
In the very beginning, for sure. But I never like fell in love with it.
Yeah.
But it's a battle royale, and so Apex is a battle royale too. That style of game I love. Yeah. It's like a Hunger Games for those gamers not out there. You basically drop into a map, and slowly over time, this toxic gas will close on you, and if you sit in the gas, you die. So it's making the map smaller and smaller. There's typically around 100 people, and then it's last person standing. And it just feels so competitive, dude. It feels like I'm playing a sport. I know it sounds nerdy, but I love it.
I think I don't play video games, but it sounds very, like, I get it and I understand and like, it sounds super fun to me. And like, I fear I would probably get too deep into it, like that I can't get out of it.
Like,
too,
who
honestly.
do we talk to? Joey Satsbury or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, if I had an X, he goes, I had to get rid of my Xbox because I just couldn't. He goes, I wouldn't have a business if my Xbox was in the same house as me.
Joey's got a Halo tattoo, I think.
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
dude, I was hanging out with Joey at Untamed a couple of years ago, or
Yep.
we've hung out a couple of times. But the first time I saw that, I was like, "Oh, you game or something, bro?" What's happening?
Yeah.
He told me similar stories. He's like, "Not anymore, man. I'll be in the closet like a gremlin."
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I get it.
I think he was ranked pretty high.
Yeah,
he was
in,
actually ranked.
Gears of War was his
he
thing,
was
yeah.
ranked.
Oh, yeah,
pretty
Gears
high
of
in
War.
Gears of War. Yeah.
The other one is Joe Stanek. Joe Stanek was like low key a Halo beast, doing tourneys and stuff. Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Overrated or underrated Oreos?
You know the answer, dude. That's the most overrated snack on the planet. I don't want cocoa dust. I don't want fake fucking plastic cream. And so, like, even within, so one to call it a cookie is an insult. You can't call it a cookie. It's a fucking chocolate snack.
Yeah. I still
It's just
calling
trash.
it a cookie is a little weird to me, but I just told my wife last night. I said, I can't believe it, but not that long ago, I didn't think Oreos were that great. I think Oreos are pretty damn good. I literally told her that last night.
So, like, it's all context. I'm very fat, and fat is a mentality. I'm not shaming anybody or the body fat percentage. Fat's like a mentality. If there's a rack, a sleeve of Oreos in front of me, it's going to be gone. I'm going to eat it. There's no chance. But, I do try to eat well. I try to eat, veggies and protein. And so if I'm going to indulge and get a cookie, I'm not going to the store and be like, wow, I must really get an Oreo. Like I'm going to go get like a mom and pop nice baked chocolate chip cookie and eat that thing. Do I shame you for eating them? No, they're good, but to call them like a delicious snack or even to be in your top 5 snacks, like even gas station snacks, it's not even ranked there. It's like B tier.
See, I agree. I'm not an Oreo guy.
Yeah.
But I do where I like the cookies and cream flavoring of thing. I think it's like an ice cream.
One of my favorite,
Right.
McFlurry.
I was
There you
gonna say,
go,
or like
yeah.
in a blizzard, like
Yeah.
Oreo
100%.
blizzard. That's so damn good.
Dude, and those are probably underrated. Like an Oreo, blizzards in general are probably underrated. That's one of the best ice cream deals on the planet.
If you live in the Midwest, though,
Yeah.
you can almost can't say. Well, Dairy Queen's tricky because it's like you go to Minnesota and it's literally in every town with a population of at least 100 people.
Yeah. Do you have Dairy
Really?
Queens all over the place?
We had a lot. We had a lot when I was growing up, and now we maybe have one. The best substance, and I swear it has I've never done drugs, but I swear it's got some opium or some shit in it, is a Dairy Queen ice cream cake. You ever had one of them?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's classic.
With the fudge Oreo bottom deal, and then for some reason the frosting on them is like a different generation of ice cream because it's not frosting, dude. I literally am addicted to that. That's the best thing that I've ever put in my mouth.
The last one we had, I made the I kept lying to myself, oh, I'll just do a tiny sliver because that's what I'll do, and I just I think I had
just
20,
had 20 slivers
tiny
instead of-
slivers.
Yeah.
It's I could have just had 2 huge pieces, like half the cake.
Dude, it's so good. Yeah, what do you guys have? Carvel? Is that the other deal?
I don't even know what that is.
No, we don't.
I think Carvel, maybe that's more. I don't even know because we don't really have them either. But I think that's kind of a Dairy Queen deal.
Okay.
Do you mean
Culver's?
No. I think it's a Carvel.
Oh, okay.
No,
Culver's I've heard of too, but we definitely don't have that Carvel.
Yeah, Culver's is very Midwest, and they have custard. It's not ice cream; it's custard at Culver's, and it's.
This is Carvel.
Okay.
Carvel American franchise ice cream. A layer of distinctive crunchy. It's from Atlanta. I've heard of that.
Yeah,
We don't have Culver's either. I don't think we have Culver's, but I've heard of it.
Have you ever heard of Taco John's?
No.
Okay. That's a
That sounds pretty Midwest, though.
Yeah, it's a cult classic on the Massenomics podcast. It's we've probably said the word Taco John's upwards of thousands of times.
Yeah, we've ate it live on air.
And it is Tex-Mex, very Midwestern Tex-Mex fast food, and it's like a must. Now that you know it, if you're ever,
I think the farthest west they go is probably
Wyoming,
Colorado.
Okay,
I
maybe
think.
yeah.
All right.
If you ever get the opportunity to go to one, now that you know, you have to. Like we.
All right, yeah, I'm in.
We insist. You may be disappointed, but we insist you at least experience it. So.
All right, I got a overrated, underrated for you, and this is going to decide the future of our friendships. 'Cause this is very important to me in my household.
You're making the rules almost here.
Overrated. I don't even know if it's. I think it's where you guys are. I think it's worldwide or nationwide. So if it's not, then we'll just ixnay this, and it's not funny anymore. But overrated, underrated, Arby's.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
Arby's,
I just had Arby's this week for the first time in.
I love it, dude. I absolutely love it.
I think Arby's is underrated because I like the big roast beef sandwich.
Because you can just, the sizing is just more beef.
And like, if we're talking about lifting weights and that sort of thing, like it's not that bad as far as if you're going out and getting a fast food sandwich. If you look at the macro breakdown on that roast beef sandwich, there is a ton of protein in that thing. Like, granted, there's probably a shitload of sodium, like a bunch of other stuff, but like overall,
Stan Efferding told me that's good.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, it's vertical.
Need that.
So red meat and sodium. That's the Arby's is
the first vertical of the fast food.
And also, I'm not a French fry fan much, but Arby's curly fries I would take over a French fry 9 times out of 10.
Dude, it's good. I think it's so underrated. People talk so much shit on it.
Oh, really? See,
I like Arby's.
I think it's pretty universally loved around here.
Yeah.
But I would say it's still underrated, though.
They have good chicken. Like, they have a chicken cordon bleu sandwich.
I've never had chicken from Arby's.
Yeah, chicken cordon bleu sandwich at Arby's is also, they always had good turnovers. If you're into
I never had those either. They had like a French dip for a while. I was kind of a fan of. That was
I even think their barbecue sauce is kind of vinegary.
Yeah,
their sauce is good. Like, I think it's highly underrated.
Yeah, I like Arby's. I don't eat that much fast food of those kind of places, and if I do, Arby's is fairly high on my list.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Love to hear it.
Okay, overrated or underrated? John Stockton.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Probably underrated. And that's only in the sense that, as we kind of mentioned before, I'm a big culture guy. I'm a big, like, know who came before you to know where to go kind of thing, you know? And John Stockton's insanely good, you know, like he for the package he has, and everyone says like, oh, watch who's guarding him in 1988, you know, it's the janitor and like all these dumb jokes.
But like it's mechanics and janitors and I'm like, well, was it?
And he, at that time he was playing the best of the best and he was shitting on him, you know. And if he grew up in this era, he'd probably, you know, have a different evolution to his game as kids do now growing up in this era. But overall,
launching threes from 40 feet and making every one of them, like if that's what he was.
No, 100%.
Right.
Yeah, his scoring, like, obviously wasn't what he's known for. He's an assist guy, but his field goal percentage, his free throw percentage were through the roof. He was highly efficient. He was fun to watch. They won a ton of games. He had a little flash to him now and again. Highly underrated, especially because basketball, for some reason, which kind of breaks my heart, the new generation, like on Twitter and stuff, like really talking shit. They're doing all that janitor mechanic stuff. I'm like, that's so ignorant, you know?
Yeah, like there's different eras, and sometimes it's hard to compare stuff like that.
Yeah, that's how all sports are. It is different eras.
Right.
So
yeah, you can't. You can compare how great they are compared to number 2 of their time.
And I'm pretty sure
Michael Jordan or Shaq being so dominant in that era, they're amazing. You know, like, is LeBron James that far ahead of Kevin Durant or Kobe? You know, that's where the conversation I would go if you're talking about greatest of all time.
No, that makes sense. And I think Stockton is all-time assist leader, and like at a number that like nobody can ever touch. Like it's
not even close.
Impossible for anyone to ever get close to it.
I think he had like a 30 assist game in the NBA, which is
you're right.
Absurd.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. And I think he's top 5 field goal or free throw percentage. I might be wrong, but like, he's insane.
And there was it was like Mark Jackson or like one of the Jalen Rose. I don't know. It was like on one of these documentaries. It might have been about the Dream Team or something like that, where John Stockton was fairly new into the league, and these guys were talking about him, and like everyone's kind of making fun of him, you know, like I got him, big whoop, you know, like this is gonna be no big deal. It's like the little white guy, you know. Like the thing is like he probably sucks, and he like torches them for the game, and they get done like just like instant respect, and like it took like one game for them to completely change their opinion of this dude. You know, it's just cool.
There's a really good Yeah, there's a really good documentary. It might be the same one you're talking about, and they're talking about the team going over there, and that's obviously when Jordan was like near his peak, and he's driving the Ferrari around Barcelona and all this.
Right.
And then they show B-roll footage of John Stockton with
Driving like a minivan or something like that.
and he's like driving his wife around, and no one's asking for a picture or has a clue. They're like, "Oh, are you here to watch the Olympics?" He's like, "Yeah, here with my family." You know? It's so funny.
Yes. So John, you said underrated. Okay.
Yeah, I would say underrated.
Okay. So
Do you keep a scoreboard of this?
Yes.
Does Discord get involved?
Yeah.
A lot of times
That's what we need.
What we used to always do is put it each week on our Instagram story, and some people are clamoring, they're pissed we haven't been doing that. Maybe we'll bring it back with yours on the Instagram story for the first time.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. And then last one's always the most important one. It's usually worth all the marbles. So overrated or underrated New Balance shoes.
Dude, so like in this very moment, they're highly underrated. Overall, like through their history, I might even say underrated through history too, actually. Like they've always been comfy. They just haven't always been in style per se. So like my dad rocked them. They're kind of the typical dad shoe, right? But like where fashion is right now, it is kind of a cool crossover of like comfort, functionality, and still looking cool. So like my dailies, I talk about shoes like cars, you know. My dailies are like some beat New Balances. They're super comfy. I go for walks often. I've been dieting and stuff, and so like crazy comfy. And then now like an actual sneaker streetwear game. I even think 2021. I don't think it's come out for 2022, but I think they won Sneaker of the Year. I think they won Sneaker Brand of the Year. Kind of. I don't know who gave it to them, but someone kind of in the streetwear fashion game. So they're killing it. One of my favorite shoes right now is a New Balance 550. It's kind of an old 80s, 90s basketball silhouette. So I would say underrated. I love them.
Yeah. So I completely agree. And I also do believe, they were really on the come up in 2021. I think even in 2022, they're still riding that wave even more. They got more collaborations coming out. So I think that they will. It'll be interesting to see if they ever do get like to that level of like Jordans where it's like, oh, everyone wants them. Yeah. It almost starts to feel played out, but it looks like I was looking, I think we might have the exact same pair of shoes. Do you have a 993, the Made in America all gray? Is that?
I think I like the 993s, but I think I have a 992.
Oh, the 992. Okay. The 992 is a little better. I think that's a slightly more loved model too. But
I think they just do like more collaborations. But yeah, they're so similar. Those are my two go-tos for sure. The 550 if you want something more streetwear-y, a little bit more flat silhouette. Like I even deadlift in them. And then the 992s or 993s, ladies and gentlemen, those are the sneakers that you need to rock.
And I think they're slightly underrated in the way that they do have that Made in America component to them because no one else is really doing that part of it.
No, I don't think so. And I literally think they are. I think they're a Boston company, right? I literally think they're made in America.
It's Northeast somewhere. I think it is Boston. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm a fan. The only thing I'm not is like their actual new basketball sneakers. I think they signed like Kawhi. Yeah, so and their actual
Kawhi is the perfect person for them to sign though, isn't he?
It kind of is, right? Kind of vanilla. They're the shoes just look like it's trying a little too hard rather than coming with their own deal.
On that subject though, are there any performance basketball shoes nowadays that people actually get excited to wear from like a fashion standpoint?
Very few. Actually, the new LeBrons that are coming out, they've only been like previewed and peaked. I think those are going to hit. Those are going to be really, really popular. They're really clean, really basic. But you're right. Yeah, like even guys in the league, they're still just wearing old Kobe's.
Right.
Yeah. Like I could have, maybe I was watching a video or something on this, but up until like 2005, 2007, maybe even 10, like basketball shoes were made out of things like leather and suede and things that were more fashionable. And now it's all this crazy, like fly knit, like mesh stuff that, performance wise, it performs great, sure, but stylistically, it just looks like you're wearing some super futuristic, like cartoon animated, like crazy thing drawn by a kid. So it does kind of
that's not even functional.
Yeah, it's like that part of like the idea of basketball shoes ever being fashionable kind of almost seems like a foreign idea now because no one's going out and buying like the new Durants to go rock, to go out for the night.
Yeah, I think the new LeBrons might sneak in there. They're the low top and they're just really basic and clean. But you're right. And some of the Kyries are okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't really bought them either. The only pair I bought were some James Hardens, but that was to actually play in. Like, there's no pair that I wear, with jeans or anything. You're kind of right, but obviously I'm nostalgic too, so it's cool that Jordans are back in.
What's your favorite basketball sneaker of all time?
To play in?
No, just
aesthetic.
Just like style.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. I love the 90s, and obviously I'm nostalgic to it, but like there's so many crazy, like the foam posits, and like there's some Jason Kidd ones. It looks like they got some fly freaking bug eyes on the side of them. But if I had to choose like just one all time, maybe the Jordan 3.
Yeah.
I mean, the best sneaker of all time, like it's kind of hands down is the Jordan 1. Like it's the most iconic sneaker in the history of humans putting things on their feet.
True.
And I am a fan. I have a bunch of them, but personally, maybe the Jordan 3, which is weird with this TikTok crowd. Like they only wear like Jordan 1s and like Nike Blazers. Like that's all they know.
Blazers are like, dude, I used to rock Blazers probably 10 years ago, and now I love Blazers. I thought they were great shoes, and now I feel like I can't wear them because it's like a TikTok shoe.
I know. And even the Jordan 1s, like I've had them for so long, and it's like that's all they have.
That's
like,
right.
Like, and I'm a bit of a hipster too, so that doesn't help the case, but
I do think the Jordan 3 though does make a strong case for one of the best just straight up sneakers, because I mean, that shoe could come out today and people would never, ever, ever even think it's a basketball shoe. Like it's so clean.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's got the high top, and it's just, that shoe just works good.
And the elephant print, that's pretty iconic.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot to it. I actually literally just bought a pair.
My favorite, and you can judge me. Judge me.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Well,
Tanner.
I've got three. I've got three favorites.
I know for sure two of which. Okay, I think I know two of which. Can I guess quick?
Yeah.
You're gonna say Shacknosis.
Yeah, Shacknosis is probably my second or third on the list.
Shacknosis are sick. I have some Shacknosis.
And then you're gonna do the Pippin Air up tempos.
The more up tempo. Yeah, the ones that say
those are amazing.
I love those, and I like the
There's a military green one coming out. There's a military green coming next month. I think I'm gonna get it, dude. They're sick. But yeah, the basic Pippins are amazing.
Yes, and then maybe probably my favorite out of the three is the Kamikaze, the Sean Kemp
that's right,
Kamikazes with
those are amazing too. I was lucky, I have those too, because I was with Reebok for so long. They started sending me everything. Yeah, I had the low top Kamikazes. I have some Shacknosis. I like the original pumps. The original pumps are sick.
Yeah, I think you know what.
There's so many good shoes.
You know what's got a little bit of a comeback, but not enough love still. I think is the original Iversons, the Questions.
Yeah,
those things,
dude, love them.
Hold up really good.
Love them. I love them. Some of the Adidas Kobe's are coming back. They're not allowed to call them Kobe's because his wife re-signed with Nike. Okay. But
those ones, not the crazy. I think the Crazy 8s were like the first one. The one that looks like it's just a giant block of foam. That one's been making a bit of a comeback lately.
Yeah, no, I think it's coming back in like a white, and they're calling it like a Stormtrooper color. It looks sick. The Crazy 8s are my favorite shoe to play in ever. I played in those for like 4 years. Yeah, love them.
Where's Fila at in the? Because wasn't Grant Hill a Fila guy like when he was in Detroit?
Dude.
And like they're like those white kind of rectangle, and they got like the logo on the bottom of the heel. Like
women's fashion, Fila made a little comeback.
Oh yeah,
like girls were wearing those
the big stompers, whatever those were.
Yeah, I think that was hideous. That didn't really deserve a comeback. The actual Grant Hill ones aren't too bad. Like, am I going to wear them? I don't know, but they definitely have a place somewhere.
Yeah.
So you talk about guys you want to watch when they're young. You watch some early Grant Hill highlights, and he's fucking LeBron James. Like, he is so insane.
Yeah,
but people have no clue. People don't even know his name.
Tommy just pulled them up to refresh me what they look like.
I forgot what the Grant Hill ones look like. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not the best, but they're in the conversation for sure. Like I would wear them. I'd probably wear them with some sweats or something.
The Grant Hill one actually looks like the Jordan. I think it's like the 9s, and then they just slapped a Fila logo on the heel. They look pretty similar.
Yeah, they probably did. They probably did. Yeah,
I think it was around the same time. It had to have been.
They're not that bad. They're not that great either. Just something's going on with all the soles of Filas. Like they look so like sharp. It looks like hard plastic rather than like. I don't know.
It's like, why is it shiny? Like it's shiny like in a cheap way.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know you guys are little like sneakerheads. Dude, there's another documentary. I don't know why I've been on a documentary kick, but they just did it might be Untold. It might be Netflix's. It's basically like Netflix's 30 for 30 kind of series.
Yeah.
I think that's what the Shaq one is. We just did a podcast on one on Manti Te'o and being catfished.
Yeah.
But they
I've
have
heard people talk about that. Yeah.
Dude, really good documentary, insane story. And it's like right when all of us were like high school, college too. So like I remember it, but I don't remember it. There's an And One Street Ball documentary that is really good. The And One Tai Chi's, if listeners want to pull that sneaker up, that holds a little special place on my heart too.
Yeah. Then when I think And One, I start thinking of, was it Dada's too at that time?
Oh yeah. Chris Webber.
Because wasn't there Sprewells? Didn't the Sprewells
yeah,
have
with the
spinners in
rims.
them?
Yeah. Chris Webber had some like mirror looking ones, and then Sprewell. Dude, the '90s were wild. I guess it was probably like 2002, but dude, you're stepping on the heel and it's blowing air in to spin a fake rim.
Yeah, I had a
What
bunch
the
of buddies
fuck?
that
That's out
had
of a
those.
movie. Dude, that's wild. I am kind of glad shoes aren't like that. Like that was too much for me. I'm
They're
like,
getting
what
kind
is
of
going
gimmicky.
on?
Okay, And One Tai Chi. I do remember these now. I totally forgot about that one. Dude,
Yeah, those are cool. Those are
Like
cool.
right
But the
there.
culture
Okay.
and one was
Oh,
so
it's
good. Yeah, it was it's a good little documentary too for any basketball fans out there, kind of sneaker. And they kind of talk about the business side too, which is cool.
Good news, Mike. You passed overrated, underrated.
I won.
Yep.
You pass, you win. I want to like be number one on the leaderboard.
What is this?
Like you have a lot of strong people on this show, so like I'm never gonna out Dots them or Wilkes them or nothing. But I think I could whoop like Russ Swole's ass and all these John Hack who and the underrated, overrated. I think I got them there.
Yeah, that's like more important too. I think at the end of the day.
So
I
people
think
will
so.
remember.
I think so
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, they're gonna buy my jersey for that. The underrated champ.
Yes. No, really good, Mike, and we appreciate you getting on. We knew this was going to be fun. You know, obviously we have different guests all the time, and some we have to prepare more for than others. And like honestly, we just don't have to prepare that much for you because we know we're going to have a fun conversation, and we like those are the easy fun ones.
I appreciate it, man. I can't wait for you guys to finally head to the Wild Wild West, and we'll do a little podcast in person one day.
Yeah.
We'll do it for sure.
Yep.
I mean, I
It's
think
gonna
that is
happen
just a
sometime.
matter of time.
Yep.
We're just going to continue to exist long enough, and then we'll be there.
Yeah, I know we'll be around. It's just as long as you guys are around, then we know what.
All right. I got the dates. Then I'm putting the dates out there. You got your calendars?
Yep.
February 4th and 5th. We're going to throw a powerlifting extravaganza
Okay.
at our gym.
Wait, like
So-
in like 5 months?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well, Sacramento's probably nicer than South Dakota in February, so that's not a terrible
Oh, dude.
idea.
Our February's like, it's like 50, 55.
We could be
Well, maybe a little
we could be at
overcast, but
negative
nothing
50
crazy.
then,
Yeah,
so-
it could still be
Yeah.
well into the negatives.
Yeah, it's like hoodie weather. Like you'll need a little hoodie, but you don't need a jacket or boots.
Well, Tanner doesn't believe in babysitting.
I do
jackets,
not
so
do
that works out
coats.
perfect.
I don't do coats like even when it's sub-zero.
No way. What do you do? Just a hoodie?
Yeah, I just don't like babysitting the coat going around. Like I just like run from my vehicle into the building and like it's just there's a lot of I don't like being tied to this coat everywhere I go. Like
I don't blame that. Or like gloves. Like gloves seem so
Yeah.
Oh,
inconvenient.
I used to have that same mentality, and now when I go out, gloves, hat, coat. I might even put a sweatshirt on under my coat, or maybe even a small coat under my big coat. That's where I'm at
yeah,
now.
to be fair, in my older age, I do it a little bit better. But there used to be a point, like in my college days and younger, like we would, go out to the bars and
Well,
stuff like that.
bars
like,
are different. Yeah,
yeah.
They're
Like
you
we'd
don't-
run home in 20 below in just like a long sleeve tee because it's like, well, we're not bringing a coat to this bar. Someone's stealing it.
Yeah, like for
Like,
real. If someone
Yeah.
fell down and passed out, they'd
Yeah.
be dead in like less than a half hour. It's
Is it normal that you just hang it at the front of the bar and just like pray that no one is a
it's
jerk?
kind of different everywhere.
Yeah.
You kind of got to know where you're going.
Like in one of our hot spots here, it usually ended up just being like a pile on the floor of coats. And it's like, last call, end of the night.
Which
and
means your
everyone's-
coat's gonna get stolen or like stomped.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that. Yeah, I
No.
don't like that. I'll probably go no coat too. I don't know if you listened to the Let's Get Stupid podcast, but these boys said some kind of strip club, and it sounds like it's. I don't know my
Don't go
geography that well.
They
You guys know it? You guys know it?
So
Lightroom or something? What the fuck was it?
It's the lamplighter. Is what
the
they
double
Lamp
L.
lighter.
Yeah, the double L.
and we keep pretty close tabs on Tom and Tom, so we know what they're up to all the time. And don't go there; it's terrible. There's
But it's that like renowned in your guys' north.
no,
state.
no,
they
we just know it from them talking about it.
yeah. They
Oh, gotcha.
that Tom Finn just, has a pretty storied history with it, and it comes up frequently. And no,
but around this part of the
we
country,
have our own lamplighter here,
strip
though.
Strip clubs are few and far enough between that they all kind of have their own little history to them, and
some lore. I like that.
They do.
Yeah, we've got the Silver Dollar here in Western.
We used to have
South
two
Dakota.
for being such a small community. We had 2 strip clubs.
Yeah,
and actually,
you just had to know every stripper, right? Well, that had to be kind of awkward.
No, not really, but kind of like the lamplighter. The other one, it was before my time, but I think it also had a dirt floor, didn't it?
The Pirates Cove.
Yes.
The Pirates Cove is the name of the strip club.
With like a full pirate, like the entire side of the building looked like an old pirate ship. Like
and they're just like dancing on the bow of the fucking boat.
That's what it was like.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
It was super grungy and not anything good. Like, no, it was. It wasn't a place you want to take your family. It wasn't a family strip club.
The buffet wasn't caught up to be.
Yeah, the seafood there was terrible.
What kind of boat is this?
So where does everyone check Silent Mike out? 3rd Street Barbell, good company. And what should people know as far as drops or apparel, merch, all that stuff?
Yeah. 3rd Street Barbell, Northern California, February 4th and 5th. We're going to try to run. I don't want to speak too soon in case I can't whip my shit up, and I suck, but we're collabing with the Game Day boys, and we're going to throw a big old 2-day powerlifting meet and hopefully like a mini expo content fun extravaganza with it. And that's why you guys are now cordially invited to come podcast, get a little booth going, and come party. So that's February 4th and 5th. 3rd Street Barbell, if you're in Northern California, we got day passes. If you want to come smash some weights, hang out. I'm Silent Mike, where you want to find me. 50% Facts Podcast. We throw out 2 episodes a week. Talking a lot of bullshit, a little bit of fitness, a little bit of fun. And then that's about it. Yeah, 3sb.co. That's where all my clothes are. If you guys are into any kind of gym wear, a little bit of comfy clothes, trying to, athleisure game. But that's it. That's where we're jamming, dude.
We just busted out your beanies earlier on this podcast, as a matter of fact.
And
the right time.
Is it already cold? Is it already cold out there?
No, it's still in the 90s lately.
It's going to get there, though. These beanies will come in handy.
Dude, it's 110 out here right now.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little toasty.
No, that's cool. And good plug for 50% Facts. I'm personally a big fan. I don't hardly miss a single one. One of my favorite podcasts still. So check it out.
I appreciate you, man. Hopefully we'll get you guys. We got a little studio in the gym. So if you guys can sneak out in February, we'll just record. Do you guys drink? I don't really drink, but we have a bunch of like whiskey in there. You guys like to drink a little bit?
We talk about drinking more than we drink at this point in time, but we still do like to have fun.
We got families and stuff, so we got to kind of tone it. But get me
on
away.
A podcast,
right.
Where all the worries just drift away.
Yeah. We'll do a little whiskey. Jim knows way more about it than me. Jim's like a fan. We'll do a little nice whiskey, a little podcasting. Sounds like a time.
Absolutely. All right, cool. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me, man. We'll talk soon.
All right,
Thanks,
cool. See ya.
Later, boys.
Cool beans.
Damn, this did turn into a long podcast, didn't it?
2 hours and 16 minutes, right?
Oh, baby.
That reminds me of, speaking of California things, I wanted to hit you with something else from California.
Well, I wanted to hit you with something.
Oh,
else
you
from
hit me
California.
then. Yeah,
unless you're still going there.
Either way.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
I was holding up the show here. You go.
This is the Strength Company. We've set out to build a better barbell plate on American soil. We ended up here at Wisconsin's legendary Wapaka Foundry. With over 60 years of ironworking experience, the foundry had the knowledge, technology, and processes to build our weights to our exact specifications. The Strength Company plates are slim but rugged, smooth but easy to grip, and electro-coated for durability and to look great in your gym. This is the next generation of American iron. Only available from the Strength Company.
The Strength Co.
Oh, yeah.
There are not better plates out there. That is my honest opinion. If you are in the market for any plates, buy the Strength Co. plates. Anything else would just be
a disservice to you and your barbell.
Yeah. So hop out there, head over to the St. Croix and buy any size plate you need. A whole bunch of them, sets of them.
All right. In 1995, Maurice Big Mo Huffman founded Swisslink. That's right. They're the next sponsor here, Swisslink.
All right, Swisslink.
Maurice had a partner based in Switzerland.
Maurice.
The character from the song by the Steve Miller Band had a partner based in Switzerland, and their mission was to bring authentic Swiss Army goods to the United States and into the hands of those yearning for quality gear at uncompromised prices. Over the years, still more Steve Miller action there. Over the years, that mission expanded nations across Europe and beyond. Time keeps on slipping into the future.
Yeah.
Now for nearly
I'm
3
looking at Steve
decades,
Miller songs.
Big Mo took the money and ran, and he's been traveling far and wide in search of the best items for military forces around the world. Big Mo doesn't only find authentic military clothing for Swisslink, he brings in everything you can imagine from Czech Army bedpans to Italian champagne glasses. I wish I could think of more Steve Miller
Would
songs.
you say that Big Mo is a joker?
Yeah.
Or a
we'll find
smoker?
out. Might be a late night toker even. At Swisslink.com, you can find classic military surplus uniforms, a great selection of military issue backpacks, tools, wool blankets, NATO fuel cans, gas masks, emergency food, first aid kits, survival packs, camping gear, and so much more. Swisslink's unrivaled collection and dedication to quality customer service sets them apart from the rest. Treat yourself to the real thing with authentic military surplus and save 15% off your first order from
15%, not screwing around,
Swisslink.com with the code MASS at checkout. That's MASS to save 15% from Swisslink.com. Thank you, Swisslink.
Abracadabra. Is that Steve Miller Band?
Once you see their NATO fuel cans, you're going to say, I'm going to reach out and grab you. All right, I got it. There's got to be at least 1 or 2 big Steve Miller songs I'm missing here. I used to really like the Steve Miller Band, actually.
You did take the money and run. Did you do something from Fly Like an Eagle?
Yep.
Okay.
I said time keeps on slipping.
Space Cowboy?
Well, that's some people call me Mo.
Right. Oh, yeah, we did that. That's the main one, yeah.
Keep on rocking me, babe. Oh, yeah, Fly Like. Okay, damn it. I think we did all of them. Abracadabra.
Yeah.
I think we hit the major hits. I know there's something we're missing here.
Gangster of Love?
That's Joker, Smoker, Late Night Toker.
It's another.
That one just has a lot of lines in it that everyone remembers. I think we got them all.
Yep.
Damn it, Steve Miller. Why didn't you have more?
He had a lot of pretty good hits, though.
Okay, we'll check the Ultimate Hits album here. Rockin' Me, The Stake, Threshold, The Joker, Abracadabra.
He's being a little bit generous with the term ultimate hits are on some of those, I think.
Space Cowboy. Why am I getting the Joker and the Space Cowboy mixed around? What's Space Cowboy?
Space Cowboy. Gangster of Love.
Well, I don't want this to get flagged because it can get flagged in like 1 second. So, okay, I'm just going to say we got them all.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully it doesn't get flagged just from us using all of the...
From us singing it so beautifully. Today's show is also brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid-70s. At the time, he was working for Image Barbell building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them, calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he'd ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling and was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, and world powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more about Texas Power Bars and buy one of their legendary bars, visit TexasPowerBars.com. That actually reminded me of a meme that I saw, and I thought it was very, very funny. I believe the crew made it, and it was, fellas, if your girl weighs 100 pounds, has a tight hole, and is made in America, that ain't your girl.
That's a straight cool 45-pound plate. Yeah.
That was well done.
That's really good. And speaking of the second half of our sack segment, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Oh, awesome. Hey, that tied in pretty good.
Yeah, from the Strength Co.
We have I'm assuming these were the only two ever made.
Yeah, it's a Big Grant and Big D, July 17th, 2022 wedding commemorative koozie. White koozie. Interesting choice on the white koozie.
Yeah, I don't know if I've really ever seen a white koozie.
Well, the problem is I think they probably get dirty.
Lots of koozies start white. You just don't realize it.
Yeah.
Also, the cat's on there.
Yes.
You missed the cat, Tanner.
I don't really know what Grant's cat's name is.
I don't either. It's just a cat.
It's just Grant's cat.
It's just like this always around cat.
I guess we'll never really know the answer to that.
Just hanging around. Yeah. Just lingering.
This was quite the episode, though, Tommy, wasn't it?
It was.
We hit them hard. We hit them long. We hit them fast and hard and long.
High and low.
Yeah. We hit them all the directions and in all the places.
All of them. Well, did we cover everything on our list, though? God. We still actually didn't even get through a whole list. Can you believe that?
I guess we'll have to come back next week.
Jeez. One of these weeks we'll get the whole list done, but until then, we'll keep trying.
Yep.
I was somewhere the other day, and on the way out, or I was at this business, and when I was leaving, there was also another guy leaving, and he said, "Oh, I got to go do whatever he does," and he goes, whatever I don't get done today, I guess I'll have to do it tomorrow."
And classic. Working hard or hardly working.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Now that I got that out of my system.
Go to our website, buy some of our gear. We've got everything there. We've got the shirts. There's a couple tank tops around before the summer gets over. Grab a bench heavy tank top or a raw power tank top. We got the Lift Shorts 3. One of our most iconic shorts ever made. I don't think there's any for sale on, what's that thing called? Poshmark. I cannot remember that. I had to ask my wife like 17 times what it was. I'm like, Poshmark. I refuse to remember that.
I feel like I used to see a lot of ads. I don't know if it was on TV, probably on TV for it.
Drink Spotter. We've got the Drink Spotter. If you're into beverage safety, we'd love to help you out there and take it to the next level with the Drink Spotter. We'll fit on 5/8 or 1/8 inch 3x3 racks. Also fits decently on a 2x3 rack. So get one. Do not delay. Any of our other shorts and shirts, it's all there. And please become a supporting member. We'd love to have you sign up. I know last week, we said we needed 3 more members. I think we might have gotten them, but we were lucky. There was just 3 more spots that opened
up.
So
things outside our control, but there's 3 more spots.
Right. So we really could use 3 more people to man up or woman up, whatever.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, and take those 3 spots. It doesn't have to be all of you. It just has to be 3 of you.
And then we could quit asking.
And we'll wait. We'll wait for volunteers. We'll sit here and wait with dead air until someone volunteers. We're going to make this awkward if we have to.
And you do volunteer with your money, just to be clear here.
Yes. We need your money.
No free rides.
Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
I don't know if I was very convincing with the review ask, actually. I feel like that was kind of an afterthought. Yeah. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Please. Need them.
Please. I didn't want that just to sound like a filler. Like I didn't want you to actually do it. I do want you to leave a review.
You're like, oh, God, I need this podcast to last 2 more seconds. I'll say something about reviews.
Yes. You can follow me at Tanner_Baird, but just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.